Good evening, folks. This is Jay. This is the Cold Takes Podcast. I have my wonderful co-hosts, Phil One Up Collects. How we doing, Phil?
I'm doing good, man. Ready to rock and roll.
Good deal. I have my other wonderful co-host, the ghost with the most, Zoo. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good. Just had a wonderful salmon meal, so should be good to go.
Good deal, good deal. And our special guest tonight is the one and only gaming guru, Tristan Ibarra, the author of an incredible series of books that we are going to be making the focus tonight. Tristan, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Good deal. I am super excited to get into this. I got the box still sealed here, ready to go. Tristan, why don't you tell the folks listening at home a little bit about yourself and how you started this passion project and what you're currently working on and where they can find these books.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I've been an obsessive gamer ever since I was little. Grandma bought me an NES, or us an NES, my whole entire family, and I owe it to her, this obsession. And it's been an obsession ever since. But I started collecting while I was in high school. I ended up joining the Air Force. I did 20 in the Air Force, so I'm a retired Master Sergeant as well. But while I was in, I started hardcore collecting consoles and games, and the more I researched and the more I was watching stuff like Gamester 81 and YouTube and learning about all this new stuff, I'm like, what else is out there? I started doing my own research, and I noticed that there wasn't one place to go and find everything. So I took it upon myself to do that. I wrote a console collecting book first, which is the Video Game Console Collector's Field Guide. First edition came out in 2020. And then during 2020, whenever COVID hit and I had all this free time, I started doing a video game collector's field guide, which ballooned into 4 volumes, over 2,400 pages. And that's what you were saying you have in that package there. And I'm actually excited for you to open that up because, my favorite thing is to see people's first reactions, just how enormous it is and how extensive the research was. So I tried to capture every single, library that I could. Of course, I couldn't put everything, or else it would have been 10 volumes. But it's massive enough, and you'll see whenever you get to it.
Good deal.
I am also working on a video game dictionary currently. Was successfully kickstarted late last year. It's in the final edits right now. Of course, these tariffs have kind of thrown a wrench into my printing. That's another story. I'm also working on a video game trading card book, a energy drink book, and an unannounced book. I've actually got a couple of unannounced books, but I'm always working on stuff. Yeah, and speaking of energy drinks, this is the best one right here. I don't care what Jay says.
All right. So I know that as a youth and as an adult too, I have always loved going down a rabbit hole. And it sounds like these books are perfect for that because as established of a gamers that we think we may be, there is literally so much that I am always discovering, even on consoles that I specifically grew up with and matured with. For me specifically, a couple of the rabbit holes I've loved going down are the DS, for example, and the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything about it, and one of my good friends, Miss Mandia, we're always talking, and we've collabed on videos with handhelds and stuff before, and we'll be talking, and I'll be like, hey, have you seen this? And she'll be like, what is that? I've never seen that. And she'll be like, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, whoa, that game exists? This is awesome. And then, of course, the first thing I do is run right to Amazon or eBay and go pay some scalper for the damn game because I can't help myself. Oh, yeah. And I either play it for 10 minutes or it never even gets opened. It just goes on the shelf. But it's so fun to learn the histories of these games and the developers and the companies. So it's an awesome, awesome thing that you're doing this. And the other thing is, very much like physical game media, one of my favorite things to collect, and I know many of our viewers and friends as well, is physical print media. I'm a huge collector of books. I have probably a personal collection of, I don't know, 500 or 600. A lot of them got moved to storage, but there's probably about 100 that I just keep in the house. Every couple of weeks, I'm picking up a couple paperbacks and hardcovers, and it's a wide range of stuff. My favorite is probably historical fiction. Like, I was obsessed with Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Water Margin, especially because they link to gaming. But I love encyclopedias. I love this informative stuff. So I'm super excited for this. But one thing I did want to ask you before I start opening these up and we kind of start talking about this, I can't even imagine the amount of research that goes into this. So I'm kind of wondering what your process is when you set out to start these. So think about one of your more recent projects that you're working on now. How did you start on that? And how do you go about doing that? Like, how do you make the time for that research? How do you do that?
So I guess I'll talk about two of the books I'm working on right now, but one really quickly. The dictionary that I'm working on, I had a couple of podcasts that I was a part of for a while there. I did, probably a cumulative like 60 episodes between the two of them. But my mom was viewing a lot of my content like after it had been live or whatever, and she, gamers, we have our own language, our own lexicon, so she didn't understand like half the stuff that we were talking about, and she was actually the inspiration of me making this dictionary. I looked, and there isn't anything out there right now, like specifically for gamers, as far as like video game lexicon goes. So I thought it was a perfect project to do, and it's been extremely fun learning, terms that I didn't know about. And then the video game trading card thing, that's been a rabbit hole. I had no idea really what I was getting myself into because, those of us who had like subscriptions to Nintendo Power, every once in a while they would like throw in like extra cards like for Donkey Kong Country 2 or like Star Fox or Mario RPG. So those are trading cards that are out there that really haven't been documented anywhere. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just compiling a huge list. I've got an awesome scanner that I'm scanning everything in. I'm not going to have full like visual lists, checklists this time. I will have list checklists. It would be like another astronomical 2,400 volume thing if I decided to do it big. And that's just not the aim of this one. I just want people to know about the set, what makes it unique, and like kind of facts about them. Whereas like in this gamer, this huge set of books that I have right here, I could only go skin deep. Information on every single one of those books, it would have at least doubled or tripled the size of, the tome that it is already.
Wow. So in that trading card game encyclopedia that you're doing, is that going to have like the NFC cards that Nintendo put out and like the AR cards and all those things?
Yes.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Everything that and I should specify that there will be some like selections from Japan. Obviously, there have been video game cards like all over the world. My main focus is going to be on the U.S. and stuff that was like available to us, and then I'll sprinkle in some like really interesting things too.
I know that was a huge rabbit hole I went down. Phil and Zoo, I don't know if you guys got any of them, but I went crazy collecting the Animal Crossing ones. Like, I have like a good binder and so many doubles. And I remember, again, with my buddy Miss Mandia, like literally comparing what each of us had and being like, oh, I got this one and now I can have this person in my village. Like, those were so fun to do.
It's funny, the first pack I ever opened with those, I got a foil Isabelle. I was really happy about that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, finding the foils is always great. The chase cards are great. Like, I am a huge sports card collector. I do a lot of memorabilia, autographs. I collect all like the Topps and Panini stuff, and specifically baseball cards. But so I'm always nosing around those retail areas at Walmart and Target and things like that. And there's always fun video game cards there. And like right now, they have a huge set of Minecraft that I want to say either Leaf or Panini put out.
Yes.
And like,
Panini.
it's cool seeing like people posting, like adults and kids, on all the sports cards groups that I'm in on Facebook. They're like, oh, I got a 1-of-1 like diamond
Yeah.
like chase. Like, it's really cool how they do that. But one of my favorite sets that I ever experienced back when Twilight Princess came out, they did a great set. And it had a couple different parallels in it that you could chase. And it had the normal like stickers and puzzle pieces. Like, it was so fun to collect that stuff. And it really wasn't even about the value like cards are now. It was just cool to have them. So I'm super excited
It's
for that.
funny you mentioned that set. So I actually borrowed that entire set in a binder from a friend of mine, and I have them sitting right over there about to scan.
That's awesome.
But I also one other thing that I'm doing while I'm researching this video game trading card book is I'm trying to collect a sealed pack of everything I can get my hands on. So this one
That's
right here,
awesome.
1982 Topps Donkey Kong. This is the set that has Mario's rookie card in it, Jumpman at Work. Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. So, yep.
You're going to have
And
to get some
I
of
think
those
I have,
graded
like,
if they're
almost-
sealed.
Yeah, I almost have like about 200 unique like sealed cards, card packs so far. During this research, and I really haven't been able to like concentrate on it yet because I'm working on my dictionary first, and then this one's next.
It sounds so exciting. I cannot wait.
It's a lot of fun.
How far out do you think these two projects you're working on are?
The dictionary is going to be going to print as long as I can find a cost-effective solution. Now that 145% tariffs were put on my normal printer.
Ooh.
Another story. So we'll see. The other one I plan on kickstarting like later this year if I can get it far enough along.
Oh, dude, if you're going through Kickstarter, you have my backing for sure. That's freaking
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks.
I love that stuff. So before we move on, I do want to hit up the chat because we already got some good chats in here. So let's see. Mandia says there's so many cool things out there, and that your trading card project sounds epic. And Shannon, who you might know, says the book needs to smell like bubblegum. That would be amazing, especially for
I
those
should
of us.
have it like come with bubble gum, maybe some stale.
Yeah,
like,
you should.
82 bubble gum.
Have you ever
Like a
eaten
bucket-
those old ones out of like an old
bubblegum.
pack? Like, you eat the old
Yeah,
ones and it's
I
so old it
actually-
like dissolves in your mouth and turns to like powder. Like, oh,
So I bought an entire like I opened 2 boxes of that 1982 Donkey Kong Tops, and I kept all the gum. So I have like a huge brick of that gum somewhere.
that's awesome. Good deal. So now, I mean, that could really be a rabbit hole though, because there's a lot of. Think about when you say video game trading cards. Like, does that include LRG? Does that include our patch cards from premium edition
It
games?
does.
Does that include
Yes, it
like
does.
random special and collector's editions of games that had cards on them? Like, that's pretty neat. Like, you could really,
There's
really
cards.
find some good stuff.
For example, like Ayuden Chronicles for the Switch came with 3 cards. Oh, I'm just cataloging everything, and no stone unturned.
Oh, that's funny because I was
I'll
actually.
tell you, man, you're making me want to get my Earthbound scratch and sniff cards out.
And to think about, and there's a lot of variations with them too. Like, I was just, because I try to keep up with Game Eye, because my collection is like huge. It's worth quite a bit. So, and I have storage units and all that, so I really have to keep track of it for insurance purposes. And like that actually, Game Eye, quick little, I'll throw a bone to Game Eye here. You can put it out on a PDF, which your insurance company will accept. State Farm accepted it from me. So you can have a PDF with current values on it, and you can use that to value your collection. So if you claimed your collection at 50,000, 60,000, you can actually back that up. So if your damn house burns down, God forbid, or you get robbed, you're covered. But I was putting in my probably purchases from like the last month, and the Yu-Gi-Oh remasters actually had a card that came with them, and there was 3 variants on that. So it's pretty neat that not only do a lot of these just have a card, it's not like just one that was produced. It's all the same. Like a lot of them have variants too. So that is pretty neat.
Yeah, like Mario Odyssey is a good example of that, or excuse me, Mario Wonder is a good example of that. The
And
Walmart
card.
pre-order. Yeah, exactly. So there's 15 cards in the set, and then there's the chase. There were only 1,000. They're serial numbered of Elephant Mario, and they fetch a lot of money on eBay. They were pretty rare. Not gonna lie, I almost pulled the trigger once or twice, but
Yeah. Now, any of the like Pokemon releases, did they have any of those come with like TCG cards ever?
it did. So let's see. The Game Boy Advance game had some cards with it. Off the top of my head, here, actually, I could cheat and look at my my list here, but I'm not going to.
I'm sure
know,
the
I know.
actual.
Definitely, there
I
are
know.
some Pokemon yet. Hmm.
I know every single Yu-Gi-Oh game at least came with like 2 to 3 cards.
Exactly. Yeah, there's actually one on the shelf right now for the Nintendo Switch that I took a picture of at Target because I saw it on the front cover that it had cards, so I didn't want to forget about that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so guys, so what I'm gonna do, right? First, I have this thing right next to me. Okay, so we get our handy dandy box cutter, and I have this like 30-pound box to sit on my lap here. Ugh, guys,
Oh god.
threw out my shoulder. Look
heavy.
at this damn thing. Ugh. I don't think there's enough room for this and my belly. Jesus. Okay, so we're cutting away right now. Okay.
Well, while he's cutting away that, I think I'm gonna pop the Rockstar Punch and give this a try for the first time.
So I don't know if
a
you guys.
Rockstar Punch is legit good.
It is. The pineapple one is delicious.
That was
too.
good.
So guys,
Let's
I
see.
don't know if one of you guys wants to get a link, maybe up in the chat, to his website. Phil, is that your first
I'll
time
do that.
experiencing that?
What?
Is that your first time experiencing that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, Phil, are you having an orgasm on screen?
Dude, that's actually pretty. Wow.
What is
I
it called?
also
What?
got-
Jay.
Oh,
I also
this is
got
what
my
you guys are always
favorite
going on about, right?
Shakalicious gummies to go with it because I love putting his big o head in my
Okay,
mouth.
so
you know?
guys, you want to talk about great packaging. The top, very protected. This is beautiful. Oh, wow, we
Yeah.
got some bonus goodies in here, Tristan. Oh my god, dude.
Yep, I didn't tell you about those.
Oh my god.
He didn't tell me about it either.
Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Resident Evil 1.5, the Magic Zombie door build. Look at these beautiful manuals. Ooh, Castlevania Symphony of the Night manual for the Saturn. Look at that. It's funny, I was
Oh,
just
that's
actually
nice.
going through my PS2 games, and I have all these beautiful Castlevania games right here, too. So awesome. Oh my god. Look at this one. He looks even more
So the
incredible
second
there.
one, I put that one together. That one is actually every single difference between the Saturn and the PlayStation version.
Wow.
Has developer interviews in there as well.
Very cool.
Wow.
So, and look at the awesome Suikoden,
Yeah.
Where you put the
Vandal
Suikoden?
Hearts.
Man, I'm getting jealous.
These are beautiful.
Send me some of those.
Those are also available for sale on my website. I have those up.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and this just
Yeah,
reminds me
y'all-
so much of one of
go
my
to his
favorites,
website.
Elsa Walker. Always loved her. I loved her like bike suit.
Yeah.
I used to have a huge sticker of her on my laptop. Oh, look at this. Ooh.
Well, I actually did. I think I made 25 of these, Jay, but that was part of my Resident Evil 1.5 Precinct release
Oh,
that
wow.
I did.
That is
Yeah.
neat. That is cool. Oh, dude, look at this. Shout out to Premium Edition. The Sword of Premium Edition Games. MTG, baby. Mandy, look at this. Isn't this
About
not
that.
cool as heck?
I don't think you sent sent me one of those, but that is freaking cool.
Do you not
This
have
is
one?
sweet.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I will send you one. I've got
I
one. For you.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, look
'cause
at
I think You
this.
said you were gonna give.
Look at this. It's a
every
letter
finger-
sealed with wax. Wow.
So that is actually a special checklist, and a special page that is not in the 4-volume set. You can only get if you get it directly from me. Like if you meet me at a show or something like that and ask for it, then you get it. But obviously, like my coworkers here and friends, like I send them the secret checklist as well.
That is awesome.
Kickstarter backers also got it.
So, guys, I definitely am going to open this after to show you guys this. Or do you want me to keep it secret so they have to go get it?
Oh, it's fine. I've actually got one here myself. It's the Magnavox Odyssey.
Oh, nice. See, guys, look
To his
at...
That's what you
website,
have. But yours is crumpled up.
in the chat, there's a link. It's not clickable because Jay didn't post it. I don't think I'm a mod on his channel yet, but there's a link. Go to that. Check out his website.
Oh,
check out his
wow.
book. Lots of cool stuff.
Okay,
And I
guys,
just
this
want to
is-
point out.
Woo!
I just want to point out. Shannon said that you offered her the gum.
Oh, it's actually Shannon's my brother, by the way.
Oh. Oh. Hey, Shannon's name.
I think he's
My
thinking that's
mistake,
like your
bro.
wife.
Haha, Shannon.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to get this out. Because, guys, this is super impressive. When you see this thing, you're going to be like, holy crap. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Oh, I think I got a hernia, guy.
It's not easy to get out of the box for sure.
This, guys, this looks freaking awesome. This is incredible. Whew.
My cat loved the foam inserts, by the way. She was using it as her own little cat bed. So
Okay, so
there
guys,
you go, Jay. If you need a new cat
I'm going
bed.
to hold this bad boy up so you can see it from the different angles. So this is the volumes displayed, right? Like bookshelf style, okay? It is in this beautiful, beautiful, kind of like self-sustained, I don't know what you'd call it, like shelf or holder. Here's
Yeah,
the,
it's a
back
slip
of it.
cover, but I mean it's like a box. It's a
Look
it's a
at
wooden
that.
box.
and then
It's solid oak wood or something.
you got
'cause I
your
have
boy
one
with his
too.
NOS hat right there. And then, so this is cool. I'm trying to show this without dumping him out the front. Look at the incredible mascot. Look at the cat. Oh my God.
Bowser.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Bowser.
That is so great.
Love
There,
it.
gamer will appreciate that, won't you, kitten? Won't
Wow.
you, kitten?
So
Just
this
here in the
thing,
chat.
guys, probably, what does this weigh, Tristan? 20 pounds? 25 pounds?
The slipcase plus the books plus the release notes. It's 25 pounds, 15.5 ounces.
Wow.
Jeez, the amount of money it probably costs to ship that is.
But guys,
He's gonna be able to do a
I'm-
pre-workout with that.
I'm
Out
holding
to
this
media
here,
mail.
and let me tell you that the build quality
you can
on this,
exercise with these, so y'all can exercise. These books are huge.
you might, I don't want to, but the build quality is huge. It is amazing. Like, this is sturdy. Like, I'm handling this pretty rough because I'm like sitting at a chair trying to like maneuver it around. It doesn't feel flimsy at all. Like, you can have this put onto a bookcase or you can have it on its own. Like, this thing is looking beautiful. So I'm going to move these awesome manuals so I don't crush them. I've cleared out the keyboard now, so I'm going to set this on the stool I have next to me. Okay. And then we're going to go to the chat real quick, and then we're going to pop some of these guys open, and we'll move the camera on down. Get my blanket ready, so we're not doing any crotch shots, just in case, because the books are a little longer
on,
than the
man.
desk, I think. So, and as you guys
Content,
can
dude.
see, we got a beautiful Skyrim blanket. So,
Yeah.
but let's see.
Does that
what-
does that come in Morrowind?
Oh, I'm sure you can get it in Morrowind. Of course, I'm
Huge.
sure the
If
Oblivion
he-
one is more popular.
Zoo is huge into Morrowind. I guarantee you, if anybody could write everything about Morrowind into one book, it's Tristan.
I think
you
Tristan
know,
and Zoo need to work together
no.
on a Morrowind dictionary. That would be freaking amazing.
It would be
Now, hold on
amazing.
now. If Tristan is a member of the Morrowind Initiated, he and I can basically agree that is
No,
literally
I'm
impossible.
sorry. That's one of those games that's like I consider life consuming. Gosh, I've
Sure
got into
is.
very few of those.
Yeah, and most of the lore for Morrowind is literally open to interpretation. So it's hard to
Oh, wow.
definitively lay anything down when most of the stuff happened literally thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do want to read something from Tristan's book though that I really loved. I opened it. I was reading it before we got on. It says, "No to an all digital future. I'm not against digital media per se, but physical media just scratches that collector's itch. You might hear someone go and brag about how many games they have in their Steam library, but it sure doesn't impress as much as a wall of shelves filled with games. As long as there are dedicated game consoles, there will be physical media to go along with it. Given the size of today's blockbuster games, no one can convince me that we're going to have a digital-only future anytime soon. At least, I really hope not."
Preach.
I like this man.
Preach. And of course, I had to, we got the beautiful
Oh, yeah.
Castlevania games on PS2. I love these because just like your books there, the manuals on these are all beautiful. I love them to
Gorgeous.
death.
I mean, isn't that it? That's not a Ayami Kojima, is it? Like the artist? I can't remember.
It
you
might
do those?
it might be.
It might not. Well, yeah, if I'm getting that wrong, but whoever did those, man, just absolutely gorgeous art throughout in Castlevania history, really.
Yeah, I mean they are very stunning. And then I have another one right here. I think this one has some of my favorite. The Dracula X Chronicles. I love this because not only is the manual for the PSP
yeah.
freaking beautiful on both sides. Oh, he looks so good. But look at this. So many people do not know this. I'm going to snap the UMD out. Look at the inside of this reversible cover. Oh my God. So it is so cool, and I'm so appreciative of
Was back in the
those
day
little
when Konami
booklets you
wasn't
sent,
working.
because that's incredible. What's that?
Yeah, Konami. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's before they
I
turned
just-
completely evil.
I
Konami's
just
more
wanna
concerned
say-
with slot machines nowadays.
Yeah. The pachinkos.
I might have to be in that book about the energy drinks because my goodness, I've tried Game Fuel and it was horrid.
Yeah, it's
But this-
gross. But
Oh my gosh, it's so good. No wonder he's
Oh,
so
yeah,
addicted
so-
to it.
That's actually one thing that I wanted to say, Jay, is with your Rockstar Punch. So the energy drink book is Power Up, a Gamer's Guide to Energy Drinks. So I'm going to have energy drink pairings, like what you should drink energy drink with, like while playing
boy,
what.
yes.
So
Wow, that's cool.
obviously Game Fuel is like Halo 3 or whatever, but no.
so for me, if I was
So
the
think about that.
representative
Think about
of
that.
Rockstar, like as much as my
Hey,
channel,
you're gonna be the one doing Rockstar Punch, so I'm gonna count on you to give me that pairing.
so as much as my channel is focused,
GTA?
as much as my channel is focused on like JRPGs and horror games, I would have to say I have consumed so much Rockstar Punch playing MLB The Show that it's got to be it.
Okay.
It is the official fuel
Wow.
of
Okay.
MLB
That
The Show.
was a curveball.
A curveball.
No pun intended.
I was going to say,
What
You
energy
said
drink-
horror
for
games. I
Dynasty
wasn't expecting
Warriors as
MLB
well.
The Show.
So what energy drink goes with bourbon?
Bourbon? Probably one of the energy milks. There's some gross stuff. So at one of my local convenience stores, they have energy milk.
Ew.
Like,
Yeah,
ew.
they do. Isn't it? It's like Muscle Milk, isn't it? Like the brand, I think.
no, there's an
Ew.
actual, like Muscle Milk is like a protein added milk. This is just caffeine added milk. It's, what was it called? The protein, the caffeine added milk. Talking to my wife off stream.
I don't remember what it was called, but we do.
Yeah.
You still carry it there? So at least in New Hampshire, it's carried at Cumberland Farms, and they still have it. So if you want some
Dude,
curdled
when you
ass
see that
milk,
again, please take a picture. Take a picture and send that to me.
Well, we gotta
see
send
this.
that to Tristan when we stop in there tomorrow.
Okay.
He's doing his awesome
Yeah,
energy
please
drink
do.
book.
That'll
So.
get an honorable mention.
Energy. I think we also have an energy orange juice too.
We should have a picture of like one of us is just sitting there going, "Got
yeah,
milk?"
right. Okay, so we are going to dive in. So we love Nintendo, so we're gonna look at this beautiful Nintendo book first.
Not
Okay.
anymore, we don't.
Yeah, not anymore, and we'll get into that. Don't worry.
Uh,
I'd love to hear Tristan's thoughts on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Plenty to say about that.
I'm not,
Dude's
I
getting a
used
little
to be,
feisty tonight.
hey, I used to be flipping the switch. I am now SwitTube. If that's any
Oh.
indicator.
So, guys, not only are these beautiful, they each have their own beautiful. Look at that, beautiful
Very
pixel art.
nice.
Love it. Let's see what the
I
spines on
love
these
the
babies
pixel
look
art
like.
on
Art-
it, man.
Shout out to the artist I hired on Fiverr for each of those.
This is great, man. And I love that everyone has got the damn cat. Like, it's worth it just for the cat,
Oh,
Tristan.
dude, he's my mascot, man.
That's the best.
We lost him last November, but he's gonna live on. He is my mascot.
Beautiful,
he's my
man.
Little guy.
Beautiful.
That's Bowser.
Oh my God. Okay, real quick. Shout out to the chat. Catherine Frakes just advised me to try Monster Peach Tea with my Blanton's bourbon. I'm going to do
There
that.
you go.
Ooh.
Are you covering the newest ones too? Because they just put out a whole bunch of Starbucks ones, and they had a peach tea
Ew.
one. Did you try that peach
I
one?
mean,
yet?
it's up until the time that I
Starbucks
like,
peach?
cut off
No,
like
I don't like peach.
all the info, but like, yeah, I'm still working on the book. So as they come out with new ones, I'm adding them. Like Ghost just added like a iced tea lemonade flavor.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. So I'm excited to pop this guy open. All right. We're gonna gently
What do we
do it
got?
with a razor.
Stuff tastes like a stronger Code Red Mountain Dew, and I'm for it. My God.
So what
better
that
be
reminds
careful.
me of, and maybe I'm dating myself. I don't know if you remember at like dollar stores, and I think Walmart and Target had them sometimes. Around the holidays, they would have like a Santa Claus branded fruit punch soda that was like carbonated, and it came in
remember that.
3-liter bottles.
I remember that.
Like it was a fatter than a
3-liter.
2-liter, and it had Santa's
word.
big fat ass, like get diabetes. Like, and it's funny, as a kid, I hated it because I loved Hawaiian Punch. I loved High C and all that, but like the carbonation was gross. Like that was nasty. And now I love carbonated fruit punch. I would love to find some of that because it came in a fruit punch, and then there was a cranberry soda flavor that came out at the same time with Santa Claus on it. I don't remember the brand name. You need to make a
What?
soda dictionary, dude. That would be incredible.
No.
I was just gonna
That-
say,
that,
like,
that would be
what about-
endless. Like, where would you end that?
I would love to see a dictionary of all like the 80s and 90s cool like snacks, like the Ninja Turtle like pies, the green
right.
pies
That
with
would be
cream
super
inside,
fun to do.
or like
Undercover Bears.
Undercover Sparrow Bill.
Undercover Bears.
We were talking about it. It's like nobody remembers that but me and Zoo. Like that oatmeal was OP.
Okay,
like,
so-
yeah.
Because we're
Welcome
from,
to the
that's
Retro
because we're from
Food
the
Podcast,
Berenstein
everyone.
universe, buddy. We're from the Berenstein universe. We got shifted
Yeah.
over with these shitty Berenstain gamers.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shift this on down. All right. So, see, we got my blanket here. Okay. So we're going to try to line this up. Usually for my videos, I obviously have it set up beforehand. Okay. I'm trying not to get the computer screen in it as well. But these are bigger than most of the things I'm usually looking at. So that's why I wanted to get the blanket, because I'm going to have to have it come out some, and I didn't want to have any any jokes about like a crotch shot. So let's move this on over and start taking a look at some of these things. So we got the Tristan logo. All right. So this is the first edition, 2024. That's pretty cool. All right, and there's our table
Flip
of
it the
contents.
other way, so people that are looking at it can actually see it.
Like,
Turn the book upside down
he
your
can't
way,
see
so
it.
they.
yeah.
I know.
Make them flip their phone upside down.
So
Yeah, y'all flip your phone upside down.
I can flip it because normally on my videos this is how I record them, and I flip it in Filmora after.
Post.
Yeah. So,
Gotcha.
but I mean, I can.
Hey, I use Filmora too.
Yeah, we can definitely do this because this isn't about me, and I can still see upside down, but I do want people to be able to see. All right, so here's our forewords. So I'm sure that there's some great wisdom there. All right, look at that, Nintendo.
Oh, nothing but wisdom in there. Nothing but wisdom.
Nothing but wisdom, huh? All right, so look at that. So we got our Nintendo. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is the nostalgia, man. Oh my God.
Looking
my
at
God.
this made
Let's
me
look.
go like, I want every single inbox game now.
Oh my God. It's making me like think back. Like, which one did I play? Was it this Addams Family or was it Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt? And then we had Fester's Quest. Like, but look at these.
An extensive inbox NES collection, and that is awesome.
This is so. This is all inclusive, correct? Like you have.
It is, and then if you see like some of those on the other page, on the second page there, underneath I've got it. It's unlicensed. So
Oh,
I
wow.
also include unlicensed.
So this has like all the Bible games and stuff.
It does, yes.
That's awesome.
Wow. You like, dude, you left no stone unturned. That's insane.
Nicholas said flip it and reverse it. That's awesome. Oh my God. So
Oh
Zoo.
my God, Afterburner. When Sega went back in the day when Sega made NES games.
So Zoo, how complete is your boxed NES collection? Like fully complete?
Oh no, boxed. I'm probably about a third of them are boxed, but I got some good ones that are boxed.
Oh, that's incredibly impressive to even have a third of them.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
Yeah, right. Like I have a couple nice ones. Like I have one of the
None.
I have the less rare Flintstones one in like perfect condition boxed. I think that was called like Dino and Hoppy but I'm sure we'll come to it here. But look at these, dude. Like this is I could literally sit here and like on Astronauts, I remember fighting that goddamn Medusa when I'm like 6 over and over and over again and be like, I can't beat her. And I'm like, my parents
That game was
didn't
brutal. I remember
they
that
didn't
one
play
too.
video games. So like I couldn't go like when my kid was little, right? He's 15 now. If he was struggling with something, I could win the race for him. I could beat the guy for him. My parents didn't play shit. So if I couldn't beat the damn if I couldn't beat the Medusa, I was screwed. Like no one was there to beat it for me. So my kid got lucky. Like he'd be in some trouble. But look, this is
Like,
incredible.
Jay's childhood is like
I see
get
baseball
good.
stars. very
Battletoads,
nice.
man. I would love to have an inbox Battletoads. Look at that artwork.
Oh my God, I almost want to go get all my NES games now. God damn it. Hey, can you want to grab that?
And then if there were major like
Flintstones
variants,
game?
like Blades of Steel,
It's in that little
there's
baggie in there.
you know, the silver and then the red variant.
Oh,
came out
nice.
Later.
Ooh, look, Bo
I would love
Jackson.
to have. I was just obsessed with Ninja Turtles, so all inbox Ninja Turtle games would be top level for me. But I mean, they're probably stupid expensive.
So I never played these ones, but so Black Bass and Blue Marlin is one of those
Black
legitimately
Bass is a
lake
staple of
fishing and
my
the other one's
childhood.
ocean fishing?
Yeah.
So, well, hold on, Jay. So, black bass is, black bass is lake fishing. I never played as much of blue marlin, but my dad was obsessed with black bass when we were playing.
Oh, nice.
That's
And then on
dude.
the Super Nintendo, that became an obsession with a game called Basson's Black Bass, which amazingly is an extraordinarily hard to track down SNES game. So,
Yeah. Yeah, Nicholas is saying back when games actually were like difficult and took a whole bunch of time to beat. A lot of games
Well,
now
yeah,
are
and then, you know,
filler.
you
Didn't
didn't
they
own a
make
lot
it
of games
difficult on
too,
purpose?
so
That's right. You kind of had to make it work, like whether or not it was good. Wow, dude.
I think there was a thing where they said they made them difficult on purpose so that people
Bucky
wouldn't return them.
O'Hare.
Oh, Captain Planet, dude. Oh, look at here's one of my beautiful. My favorite boxed NES game. I had to have my wife bring it out. It's in such beautiful condition. Look at that. Love it. It's in such beautiful condition. Even the fold at the bottom is still pretty good.
One of those Flintstones games, Jay, is stupid rare.
It's not this one.
Is that the stupid rare one?
This is not. This one's probably worth like about
Dinosaur
100.
Peak.
Yeah, this one's worth about 100 in the condition I have it in. The other one would be worth $500 or $600 in this condition, I'd think. So I'd have to pull up Game
Surprised
Eye.
that Dinosaur Peak is the crazy one.
Yeah, but this one is really fun. So, all right. So yeah, like, dude, the Captain. I remember the Captain Planet game. That was freaking incredible. So much good stuff.
Chiller.
Dude, Chip and Dale
guy.
guy.
Start emulating a bunch of NES games.
I still think to this day the original Castlevania has the best box art ever.
It looks so incredible, and like they never stopped.
So goddamn metal.
They've just been making incredible ones all the way up to modern day. Like, just such great art. It's so incredible. Caveman games. I don't think I ever played that one.
If you want to buy like giant versions of these as posters, I'll sell them to you.
Cheetah-Man!
No.
Oh yeah, Action 52, man.
Yeah, but so I didn't realize. Did Cheetah-Man actually have its own release?
I think it was the cover of
it was an unofficial. Yes, exactly. But yeah, exactly.
That
like
is.
He said.
Yeah, I have Action 52. Yeah, it's the Cheetah-Man's just the cover game for Action 52.
I watched so many people play those.
Put it in there.
I loved so many people streaming those games. Like, watching people play those awful.
They're underrated gem right there, guys. Crystallis.
Dude, the Darkwing Duck game was so good too, and it was so hard. If I remember correctly, the part that I kept getting stuck at, and most of the streamers I've seen do it, there's this part where you're like going down this hill, and there's stuff like rolling after you, and you cannot avoid it, like, no matter what. Like, it was impossible. Cool world. I remember, you're like a 7-year-old boy. You're like, oh, look at that girl. Oh.
Yeah.
Deadly Towers. And, like, we are at the right age.
Roger Rabbit, right?
Right. Like, we are at the right age. Like, a lot of the newer generation can't appreciate this. Oh, dude, Deja Vu. Oh, my God. I was so happy when they put out that collection of
so good.
Deja Vu, Shadowgate, and Uninvited. Oh, my God. I love those games so much. Oh, dude, this is one. Did you guys ever play this Dick Tracy game? So,
no, I never did.
That was one. I couldn't find it. Our local department store, before the Walmart came up here, we had an Ames. And they had a decent selection of games, but they never had Dick Tracy, but our rental store did. And I probably rented that game, I don't know, hundreds of times. I was terrible at it, but I was obsessed with Dick Tracy. I was obsessed with all the mobsters. I was obsessed with Breathless Mahoney. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yes, the Lion King games that made us rage. Monster, what's up? Kitten, how we doing? Oh my God, this is... And guys, I'm literally like going through this like slowly to like just show you guys. Like, I can't imagine what's going to happen. Tomorrow I'm at PAX. So if any of you are in Boston, come see me. Just look for my head sticking above everyone else. But when I come back Saturday, I'm sitting down with these books and just going on a nostalgia drive, bro. It's going to be incredible. Maybe I'll get me some, like, clove cigarettes that I was smoking when I was, like, 12. Some Dejarum Blacks. A whole bunch of Rockstar Punched and Santa Cranberry Soda. And sit back.
Jay's going to go live, and he's going to just sit by a fire with some, like, classical music. He's going to flip through the book the whole time, and y'all can, like, tune in and watch.
It's going to be incredible. Oh my God.
Well, and that's, I mean, we kind of touched on it before, but like when you're flipping through all this stuff, yeah, I mean, like most of us, we've been gaming for decades. We think we've seen it all. No, dude, like you go through this stuff and you're like, I had no idea this existed. And I can't tell you how many times that happened to me whenever I was putting together these libraries. It's just, I was just flabbergasted at all the games that I didn't know existed.
So while we're,
to be honest, it's worth pointing out too, Tristan, this is just the US NES releases. Keep in mind that a lot of the world was behind an Iron Curtain at this time. And so there's an entire history of video game development behind that Iron Curtain in places like China, Russia, etc., that we don't even have access to and are just now starting to catalog even a modicum of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just like that. So like
It's
over in
vast.
China, they had their own releases. I mean, there was a Hong Kong version of the NES, so it has its own library. But then there were also some unlicensed ones that are under the Seichen brand and
Yep,
the
you got
Gluck
it.
the
I've
Gluck
got a couple
brand.
of those.
Okay, yeah, and they're extremely rare. So at some point, I plan on putting together those obscure libraries as well and putting out like a special edition volume 5.
And Tristan, if you need some help, give me a shout out because that's one of the things
I would love
I'm
that.
not-
I would love that.
I'm not an expert by any means, but one of the things I'm very interested in is the history of games in other places that the history typically neglects.
This
Heck
looks.
yeah, dude.
See, there's the rare one. This is the one I just had in my hand. Wow. Fisher Price
He's gonna
games.
go to PAX and he's gonna see a bunch of boxed NES.
Yeah, see,
and
this
Sam
is the
James
problem.
gonna be like,
Thanks,
I'm
Tristan.
gonna buy a bunch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go spend like
Yeah,
$500 on shit that I don't need.
The
Friday the
Monster in chat
13th gets a
said,
bad rap. People just don't know how to play the fucking game.
You're absolutely right. It's an amazing game. So the monster in chat says Hong Kong NES. Whoa, like Hong Kong NES, like Mahjong on the Hong Kong NES is one of the rarest games out there. Just it's stupid expensive.
Wow. Oh,
How
look at
expensive
Ghost
we talking?
Lion. Holy crap.
Yeah, infamous
Very
box art there.
expensive, Phil. Very, very, very expensive.
Yeah.
I
I'll
love the
be
two
honest, I
Ghostbusters
haven't
games.
played. I probably haven't even played 1%. Then like the only games I remember playing is like some Ninja Turtle and like Mario. So all these other games I've never got to play.
Oh my
Like, I'm
God,
38 years
Gunsmoke.
old and I haven't even
NES
played.
Gunsmoke is one of my favorite ever, man. One of my
Game,
favorite.
dude.
ever.
Oh, it's so good. I love that game.
Dude, vastly
Yeah.
superior to the arcade cabinet.
So I have a question.
It's
So
really
Tristan,
good.
like with Gunsmoke, for instance, do you happen to remember why
there
there
were
was
two
a variant and how you went about
I have
getting
no
that?
idea why there is. I just know there is.
I can elaborate
I don't
on
know
that.
why
So-
there was.
The first cover was the arcade cover, and then they later redid the art for the NES version.
That's awesome. See, that's
And that
like
would be why. So that second Gunsmoke, by the way, everybody always likes to talk about the Battletoads pause music, and it is good, guys. But you all need to go check out the menu select, gun select, pause screen on Gunsmoke. Just go look it up on
Oh
you.
gosh, I don't remember. I'm gonna have to check that out now.
It's
Yeah.
I'm
so
sure I'll
freaking-
recognize it. I played it so much, but
Oh, you'll
Monster-
recognize
notice
it.
there, Hollywood Squares also has a variant there. Blue
Oh,
and
nice.
Black.
oh yeah, they do.
Yep.
Damn.
I
mean,
love how
Gretchen's
even
another
the
one that
games
has a
that
few.
were not good got really amazing box art. Like the Home Alone
dude.
box art just looks so nice.
Well, it had to have good box art because they're not good games, so they had to sell.
I know, but it's like I would
My
just
dad
like
was
to have
Super
the
Pitfall.
I just like to have the box arts, you know, really. Even if I didn't
Super
have the
Pitfall.
game.
Super Pitfall told the legend on NES, and it was terrible.
Okay, so I have a question.
I don't know what was the baseball game. I remember playing a NES baseball game over and over again. It was so good. I don't even remember
Baseball
which one it
Stars?
was.
Either
Probably.
Baseball Stars or just baseball by Nintendo.
It wasn't. Was
if
it?
it was
Was it
great,
a?
it was probably baseball.
Was
Stars
it a
by
licensed
SNK.
game? Are you sure it wasn't Bo Jackson? Because I loved the Bo Jackson one too. Did it have like a
I don't
guy
know.
on the front?
I think so. I haven't played it in so many
Yeah, the most
years.
beloved
I
from
was
here
real
is
little.
Baseball Stars, but
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna pose this question to the chat and to all of you guys. So because we're looking at the Nintendo right now, what do you guys consider your favorite NES game of all time? And we're talking original releases. I don't want anybody being like, "Oh yeah, the new NES game that
oh my god,
LRG
Oh,
put
that's
out or something." But so, Phil, what would you say? And chat, go ahead and answer this, and we'll share your answers. Phil, what would you say your favorite NES game of all time is?
I mean, I didn't really get to play it, but I'm gonna say it was the because it's the only game that my mom ever played with me. And I mean, I want to say Ninja Turtles because I love Ninja Turtles, but I'm gonna say it was a Tiny Toon Adventures game. Don't know which one it was, but you could play as like
We can look.
Lucky, the cat. I forget the little. It's not Sylvester. It's the other one. And then you could play as Buster. and they had different abilities, and then every level you'd have like, what was that? What's her name? Elmira. She tried to like squeeze you to death or something. You had to beat her, and it was such a fun platformer game. And
I saw Salamander.
Yep.
I just enjoyed it. It was so good, and I was so
Right here.
stupid.
We got.
Yeah.
Was it
I think
Wacky
it's the black
Land?
one.
Or
No,
okay,
it's
so
the
it was
Tiny Toon
Ventures.
Adventures.
Yeah, that one. I
Nice.
still
Tiny
want to
Toon
get an inbox copy of that, like as the only like one of the. I think it's still decently affordable, because it just that's the only game she would play with me, and I was so stupid. My birthday came around, she's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Okay, I want the Simpsons game." I should have got Tiny Toons. Don't know why I didn't. The only game my mom would play with me, and I was just a stupid kid. And then that Simpsons game is kind of crap. So.
So what about you, Tristan? What was your favorite NES game?
Solar Jetman.
Nice. I don't think I've ever played
I
that.
love Solar Jetman. It's extremely difficult. There's no way that the physics in that game should ever be that good for how primitive, like the system it came out on. But if you're patient enough, it's a really fun and satisfying experience.
All right, so that's one folks might want to check out. That sounds pretty cool. Zoo, what about you, buddy?
And it was made by Rare.
Oh, look at that.
It's the NES, Jay. I've got to give you 5. I can't narrow the NES.
All right, top 5. I got to do a 3 at least.
Top 5?
Yep.
Super Mario Brothers 3, Mega Man 3, Gargoyle's Quest 2.
Ooh.
I would say. Then you've got Salamander, and then last but not least, Zelda 2.
Beautiful.
Yep.
So I would say that mine, if I was going to do top 3, it's Uninvited, River City Ransom, and probably, and I'm just going with how often I played it, RC Pro-Am.
I love RC Pro. Dude, I was just playing that on Genesis literally today.
Literally just over and over again. I loved it too.
The music in that game, like the jingle whenever you cross the finish line, everything is so good about that game.
And another one, we'll go top 4. I loved Rolling Thunder.
Ooh,
like as a kid,
okay.
the enemies reminded me of like Cobra Commander, so I felt like I was fighting Cobra and like G.I. Joe, and I loved it. It was so goddamn hard. And
also, guys, quick shout out to Tengen Tubin. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Good
The
deal.
game was called Tubin.
Good deal. I'm sure that's in here. So the other question I have is, so Tristan, like when you're doing this, like because you went through all of this, can you remember everything? Like how well do you remember all this?
What do you mean?
Like when
there
he's talking
is
about
every once
tubing,
in a while-
like does that game like box come to your like head right away?
Yeah, I actually have a pretty good like photographic memory when it comes to like game covers and stuff like that.
Nice.
If I'm being honest. Yeah, useful,
Rick
very useful skill in life. But no, I mean like there is every once in a while, and this happens, like a couple times a month. Like I go to got a game store local to me, Ben's Game Zone in Ralston, Nebraska. Ben's a good friend of mine, but like I will like see something on their shelf or see something that came in. I'm like, oh, I don't remember that one. I hope that's in my book.
Totally
and,
rad.
Yeah, I'll have to like check.
Yeah.
I love Totally Rad. It's an awesome one.
Wow. Good old tubing. So, this is just looking through just the Nintendo is just incredible. And there's my beautiful Uninvited. Love it so much. So let's, and another one that I played a ton was Wheel of Fortune. And I'm pretty sure it was whichever one was the least expensive. Probably this one. I don't think I've ever seen that. But
so
I
there,
used
there
to
were
love
some
playing
variants for that one too.
Yeah. Gretzky hockey. That's awesome.
Yep. also had
Oh,
variants.
Jesus Christ. Tubin is $51 on Amazon. Oh.
The
Oh.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers game, that was good.
You got to go buy it. Oh, Zoo Wizardry, man.
Wizardry.
I played a lot of
dude,
this
you're-
WrestleMania
Here's a
game
funny
too.
shout out. The
Yeah, you're
Ultimas,
getting memberships.
the Ultimas on the NES are actually vastly different than the PC Ultimas. They're like Ultima except made JRPG
Beautiful.
and they're actually pretty good.
Really? I didn't even know
Yeah,
Ultima was
4
on the
Thank you,
NES.
Jedi.
It's surprisingly good.
Good deal. Hey guys, remember, right? If I don't think that one counts, but if anyone gets a membership, I'll sing for you. That doesn't count. That's my wife. Like, no, it doesn't. And then we got our world championships. Yeah, the Wizardry. I actually have a beautiful big box PC version of one of those games. When me and Zoo first met, I was like showing him all my old like PC box games, and like that was awesome. Zoo, here is your stuff right here, man. This is your bread and butter.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. The SNES collection, I've got a huge number of.
So how many
that
cards
was
do you think you have?
How many SNES games?
Yeah.
Damn near the entire North American run at this point.
Wow.
Are they all boxed? Complete?
No.
All right. So real
I have
quick.
less boxed on the Super NES than I have on the NES.
So real quick,
Okay.
before we get into the SNES, I do want to go with the chat though. So Monster says Jay is hype as AF right now. Looking through this.
Yeah.
And this is relevant to here. Nicholas said, anyone remember Super Star Wars? That game almost took me to Lion King PTSD levels. That was brutal. They are so
Yes.
hard. So brutal.
Uh,
Home
That
Alone
NASCAR
on
run.
SNES,
That
Monster
fucking
says,
NASCAR
oh,
run, man.
that Home
I mean,
Alone
honestly,
game
You can say that about. Go
was
ahead.
so hard that, and it was one of the ones I got bought. Like someone bought it for me, and there was no place to trade it in. Like I had to own that thing, and just PTSD is probably the right word for it.
Also have to point out the Return of the Jedi Palpatine fight. Ugh.
Brutal.
Yeah, so
Very,
the Super
very
NES was a console that had so many like movie games that were terrible. Just countless movie games that were terrible.
Yeah. For sure. And
Those were actually good though. Like,
One of
how
my
many movie games
favorites-
were good?
One of my favorites was
Aladdin?
known as pretty terrible because you couldn't save, and that was the SNES Jurassic Park. That was another one I got bought, and I love Jurassic Park. I was like obsessed. I had every action figure, all the vehicles. I had the big compound with the electric fence, and the game was too goddamn hard, and you couldn't save, and it was brutal.
What's so interesting about Jurassic Park on both the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, they're very different games. They both have their quirks, but they're both endlessly fascinating, and they were
Yeah.
very fun to me, despite their jankiness and their horribleness.
And remember, the SNES Jurassic Park had those like the 3D like Doom.
Those awful first-person
Yup.
shooter segments that
Yup.
were like
Mhm.
a sixth of your screen is all you can see.
So going back
Awesome.
to chat real quick, Mandy says, I didn't play many NES games, but I love the Maniac Mansion. That's a truly good one.
Maniac
Yeah, that was a
Mansion is
good one.
amazing.
Was it GOG a
There
couple of
was
years
like
ago
a-
that put out like a beautiful version of that? I could have sworn it was GOG. Or maybe it might have been on Steam. But they had a nice
No, the
version of
problem
that.
is all the new versions, and not that it's a problem, but in the original run of Maniac Mansion, you could nuke a hamster in a microwave, and they took that out.
Huh, I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
right.
That was a classic. So, Monster says, and it's funny because I actually covered this game on my channel before. I love the Tiny Toons games on Genesis when all the characters get turned evil. And remember
Buster's
that,
treasure map.
yes, he was using the like mind control device, and like the first boss you fight is Dizzy, and
Yeah,
like,
they're under the control of Dr. Gene Splicer.
Yup. So good. And it was actually kind of like a Sonic game, the way the gameplay was set up. Like it was kind of
you
high
also, at the end,
speed.
you fight like Montana Max and like a giant robot.
So Monster
Very
says
fun
Kirby's Adventure didn't really do a lot on NES. RC Pro-Am, is that the one with the little cars? Yes, it is, and the oil slicks. Loved it.
Yep.
Man, just had a core memory unlocked. Played that at my sitter's house.
Whoever said Snake Rattle and Roll, awesome. I'll give you another great NES game that nobody talks about. Trog, it's called. With the cavemen. You're like
Nice.
these dinosaurs and you're trying to collect food and dodge these cavemen that are trying to like smash you over the head and eat you. And then if you collect a pineapple, you turn into a Tyrannosaurus, and then you go around and you eat the Trog cavemen.
That's great.
It's like a weird version of Pac-Man that I just love to death. It's on NES.
Wow, that's cool.
So
I was actually surprised. I was so surprised when I found out that it exists because I was going down like a Yeez rabbit hole after playing Yeez 8, and there was like, oh, there's Yeez on the Super Nintendo. I was like, what? What? So I saw somebody selling a loose cart, and I bought it. And I've never been able to play it. And I was like, I didn't know it was on the Super Nintendo. I don't know if it's good. But I got a cartridge of it.
good times. Then Nick said, "Oh, I thought you said, oh, you said NES. Then mine is Ninja Gaiden, which is a great pick. Because earlier he had said something about like a Super Nintendo game. I'm like, I think he might be thinking of the wrong console, but he realized there." And then Jedi Kitty was gifting out memberships, and the first membership went to herself. So that was kind of weird. That's kind of a
I didn't know that was
self-serving gift.
possible.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What is that? And then the second one went to Genghis Khan. So congratulations, Genghis. Yeah. Good times. Monster Wizardry got a nice remake recently. Yeah, and that was what year was that? Was that 2 years ago? I want to say it was. Still hoping Zoo gets his Ultima collection one day.
Me too, brother. Me too. And honestly, I could make it easier on him. Just give me Ultima 4, 5. Just give me Ultima 4, 5, 6, 6, and 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just give me 4, 5, 6, and 7.
That would be
Remastered.
beautiful.
That's another
modernized
thing.
a
That's
little bit.
another thing he's wanting me to go down to experience Ultima.
I did not tell. Nope, that is not true. I did not say that, Phil.
Yeah.
I said if you insist on going into Ultima, play Ultima 7. I did not tell you to go down the Ultima rabbit hole because they are very, very hard to get into nowadays for modern gamers.
All right, so
I
are
would
we
never
ready?
recommend anybody get into Ultima in 2025 ever.
Let's take a look at some of these beautiful Super Nintendo games. All right, what do we got here? Arrow the Acrobat. Wow. Aerobiz, was that?
So not a list. What's everyone's favorite game on the SNES? Period, like of all time. And I know there's several different genres, like baseball 2020. I love that game.
It's easy for me because I was just. I mean, I had everything. Ninja Turtles
SNES
in
is
time.
much easier. It is.
Ninja Turtles in time and Super Mario All Stars, like those two.
Zoo?
What's you, Zoo?
So, SNES is infinitely easier. If you're putting me on a desert island, Mario All Stars plus Mario World, as far as a cart.
Okay.
In terms of my favorite, like,
He's
just
maximizing his
all-time
choice
game on the
there.
system, gotta be Chrono Trigger or Terra Enigma,
Yeah.
which is a
Trigger,
European
absolutely.
joint that nobody ever got.
Chrono Trigger, baby.
And last but not least,
Oh,
I got to
good.
give a shout out to a couple of hidden gems. One is going
No
to
list.
be called Super Turrican 2.
Nice.
Everybody should play Super Turrican 2 and Super Adventure Island 2.
You know what game is impossible not to have fun with on Super Nintendo? Is Super Smash TV.
Amazing
That
game.
was awesome.
Love that game.
I never
It's
played it.
challenging, very challenging, but it's so much fun.
I remember they had great print ads in all the game magazines, too. That was good
Yeah.
stuff. So for me...
Axley.
So for me, I'm doing 3 too, because Phil just kind of, or not Phil, Zoo kind of like eschewed the no list thing. So for me, again, like this is before I had my like JRPG renaissance. So I would say that if I had to go with them, it would be number 1 would be Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. It was
Very
incredible,
good.
and
All
it
right.
was not licensed by the MLB Players Association. So you had the real teams, you had players with their proper stats, but not their names. There was something in the game that allowed you to rename and save the players. And I must have done that like 5 times because I had the game and I had it for months and months and I traded it to somebody and then it got formatted or deleted or whatever. And then I got it back and I would literally do it by sitting there looking at my Topps trading cards for that year. And I'd be like doing the Braves. And I remember there was a guy, his last name was Kniff, that was David Justice. And then they had, like, it was so crazy. I went and did all of it. And literally looking at my...
It's funny. Go ahead, dude. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You just
Yeah, Jam.
reminded me of like, there were so many baseball games at one point that didn't have that MLBPA license, and they had the teams and whatever, but like,
Baseball
Cal Ripken
strike.
Junior Baseball only had Cal Ripken as like a licensed player in that game, but then like everyone else was renamed, like Wade Boggs in that game is Spade Frogs,
Yep.
and like examples like it's so stupid. The hell?
Well, the baseball strikes in that time period wreaked havoc.
Now,
too,
I
man.
remember-
Not a big deal.
The first ones that were really good that I came across that had the full licenses: Big Hurt Baseball on the Super Nintendo, Frank
Yeah.
Thomas, and World Series
Thomas.
Baseball on the Genesis had the full licenses. And those were great. But anyways, back to my top games here. I would say number 2, having Street Fighter 2 on the home console literally
yeah, dude,
changed
that was
my
a-
life.
That
I
was
literally
a huge deal at the time.
I had to
Huge
have
deal.
I got the original when it came out, and then I had to have the Turbo Edition, and then I had to have new challengers. Like, it was so crazy. And you got to remember the
yeah, man.
progression. You had the basic game, and then the Turbo Edition had the sped up fighting, and you could use the bosses. So you could use Balrog, Vega, and Bison, Sagat, and then the new challengers added Kame, DJ, Thunderhawk, and Fei Long. And
Yep.
oh my god, it was so great. I was literally obsessed. DJ was my favorite
Y'all are
of the
making
new
me-
add-on guys.
Y'all are making me want to get out my like. I'm like they're loose, but I want to get them out or something. Like,
And
How many
then
quarters were wasted in the Street Fighter 2 arcades in Aladdin's Castle here in town? When that game came to Super Nintendo, it was like a megaton bomb hit on the fucking gaming landscape here in town. It was-
yeah, it was incredible.
okay.
And my last one that I'll go with is I adored, and I literally played it over and over and over again until I could get good. UN Squadron.
Yep, good game.
Loved it to death.
If Mandy is still here, here is my Yeez Wanderer from Yeez 3 cartridge, and it's got video time movie rental on the sides
Yeah.
of it.
I love those stickers because
Yeah.
like I don't
yeah,
try to
man.
peel them off my retro games because they're like a story.
Mhm.
I love
It's
it.
patina.
Like I take
Ooh,
off
here's
like
a good one. I love this game. Like this is another one of Power Rangers. The movie one is
Okay.
good too. The movie one is
Nice.
good too.
good deal.
Jay, I've got a pop quiz question for you.
Okay.
When we're talking about baseball games not being able to use a licensed player's name, there was a baseball game, and I can't remember exactly which one, but I think it was in. Jeez. Anyway, Barry Bonds was the only one that wasn't on the roster. Do you remember what player took his name? Like what name they actually put in there instead of Barry Bonds?
Yep, Mark Dowd.
The stats and everything.
Mark Dowd.
Huh?
Mark Dowd.
So close. So close.
John
It's
Dowd.
John Dowd.
Yes, John
Yes.
Dowd, and it was MLB The Show. It was MLB. Yeah, I want to
He
say
is,
like
he's crazy about his baseball games.
Yeah, John. Yep.
So am I. I mean, like, yeah, we're gonna have to have an offline conversation about this because I've played the
Literally,
crap out of a
so
lot of
last
baseball
year I put 750 hours into MLB The Show while still streaming my JRPGs and adventure games and still making content. It was very hard to juggle, but I love baseball, so. But yeah, Love it
That's
to
awesome.
death. John Dowd.
And it was different
Beautiful.
on every single platform, and I didn't even know there was an NES version of it, and that was Tournament Fighters for the Ninja Turtles. Like,
Jess
I
says,
cannot
there
believe
may
it
as
was
well
like,
not have been one on the NES because it was so bad.
I know,
Jess
but
says
it's like stupid
patina,
expensive,
love it.
isn't it? It's really expensive, I think, for the NES.
all right, so now we got people coming with these Super Nintendo titles. So, Lion King and Aladdin. And remember, the Aladdin game, I think, had a different version on the Sega than it did on the Super
Genesis, yes.
Nintendo.
Yep.
It did. It was completely different. Yeah.
Lion King was equally cursed on both systems.
Nicholas says MK2 and Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Zombies Ate My Neighbors was so good.
Oh, Zombies Ate My Neighbors was
Yeah, that
so
was
good,
so
but
good.
so hard. Donkey
Now, let
Kong
me tell
Country.
you, speaking of Donkey Kong, I was obsessed with all three of them. And so my best friend lived in the apartment building across the street, and we would get out of school, right? We'd usually play baseball a little bit. In the neighborhood, we weren't allowed to use a hard ball because we didn't want to break windows. We had to use tennis balls, but we still played. And usually we'd go home, we'd get out of school, we'd be out playing at like 3 to 5, and then we'd eat dinner. But then the whole evening, it was us walking each other through how far we had gotten Donkey Kong and how many DK coins we got and how much our completion percentages were. And we did that for all three titles. So, and he is now one of my MLB The Show maniacs as well. He puts in just as much time as me.
Toy Story, yeah.
So,
I played that on the Genesis, Phil.
Yeah.
and then Nick says
Now,
NBA Jam. NBA Jam was my jam too. Oh my God. I
Now,
loved it so much.
I have a bone
dog.
to pick with people that say that, oh, cart collections are good, people don't like them, whatever. Come on. Tetris and Dr. Mario.
Oh, I played
Like
that one
that-
so much, man.
Oh,
like,
nice.
come on. Nintendo was doing cart collections for a long time now, so get behind them, because I think they're fantastic.
So,
I think they're
Jay,
fantastic.
speaking of NBA Jam, did I tell you who I had dinner with last year at Game On Expo, St. Patrick's Day?
I don't think you did.
Tim Kittro and Carlos and Daniel Pacina.
That's awesome.
So Tim Kittro is the announcer for an NBA Jam, and he is hilarious.
He's on
Like we
fire.
were walking down the street. Yeah, dude, he sits there and narrates like what he sees on the street while
That's
we're
awesome.
like walking. It's so freaking funny in that voice. Like if I had that voice, I'd never shut up.
Boom shakalaka.
Oh gosh, oh my gosh, there's Basson's Black Bass, guys.
Mario
Phil.
All-Stars, I wish it had Super Mario World, but it don't, but hey.
This
Still
Phil
good cart
showing off all the
collection.
common Super Nintendo games he has.
Dude, I can't even play these, man. I don't even have a Super Nintendo or NES that works. I have to use my little NES, the little mini console.
Guy, I got my Super Nintendo. I got the second series Super Nintendo, the smaller one. Just like with my Sega, I got my Sega 1, 2, and 3. I can't, like, I go crazy. With my Nintendo, you'd be surprised. I'm surprised I didn't talk about this with the Nintendo. You'd be surprised how many collectors are shocked when they see this as a top loader Nintendo. And like,
that's the second
it's my
Nintendo.
one of my favorite things in my collection. I picked one up with 2 dog bone
Toaster.
controllers with it for $5 at Goodwill before they started
the
going crazy
toaster.
looking everything up.
I think y'all talked about
Hold
this
on,
one
hold on,
earlier.
hold on. Wait, Jay, before you flip that page. Oh, nerdy Super Nintendo guru fact. Biometal, amazing shooter. The soundtrack is so freaking weird in America. They did like the Gary Glitter soundtrack OST. If you play that game with the Japanese version with the Japanese soundtrack, it's one of the best shooter soundtracks you'll ever hear. It's incredible.
Let's see if I can find. I
Weren't
don't know.
y'all talking about this one earlier?
Do you think those are
Hyperzone?
licensed? Do you think we'd get busted if we played some of that?
Which one?
Do you think the Biometal Japanese soundtrack is licensed? Do you think we'll get busted?
It
if
is
we...
not. No, it is not. Play some. Absolutely. Just start a Japanese long play. Just listen to the first 2 stages. All you got to do. It's amazing.
All right, so I'm gonna
No,
pull
it's
it
not
up on.
licensed.
I'm gonna pull it up on Firefox real quick.
Yeah, let people hear that shit. It's incredible. Also, while you're pulling that up, guys, I posted a couple pictures from my collection. See if you guys know what any of this stuff is, and then if not, I'll explain it.
Hanafuda cards, and that looks
That's
like
correct.
the
Those
first,
were original
Oh,
Nintendo Hanafuda
club
pre-World
news,
War
yeah.
II.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, dude, I need scans.
You guys
of those,
ready?
Bro.
Okay.
All right, so I'm
And
gonna
then the
switch my
Nintendo Fun
audio.
Club Zelda newsletter from
I'm gonna switch
1980.
my audio for just a minute back to the monitor, so there may be a little echo, but you're gonna get to hear this. And so this one has all 15 tracks, so we'll scroll through a couple of them. Ooh, listen to this, guys. You guys hear that? Jack, can you hear that? I can try to turn it up a little bit. The mic is actually really good at not picking up. But he's definitely not wrong. Like, these sound really good. Let's hear what the fourth... Ooh, listen to this. Listen to this one. Now, Zoo, is the gameplay in this pretty fast-paced? This one is called Dark Clouds. It sounds really good. Biometal, Mandy. Wow. So, guys, definitely check out the Biometal Japanese soundtrack. Zoo, is the American one complete shite?
Yeah, you should listen to that too, just so you can roll your eyes.
So
But,
if you're gonna get it, import the cartridge. Don't get the get one of those aftermarket like the Retron to
You
play
guys
it.
should go watch a long play of that game. The whole game is incredible to watch and listen to.
So, while we have a second, though, I do want to make sure that we are propping everyone up here. Guys, if you are not subscribed to Flipping the Switch, if you are not subscribed to Fill One Up Collects, and God, guys, if you're not subscribed to me, join up. Join up. We love doing content like this, just hanging out, talking with people. We cover mostly JRPGs, some horror. We cover video game news, Nintendo fucking outrage. And
Yeah, right
three
here.
of the four of us work for Premium Edition Games, one of the big warriors in the game preservation and physical battle. And guys, go subscribe there too. We do weekly streams sharing our games. Tristan does an amazing job with creativity and artwork and getting assets. This guy is so talented, as you can see by his freaking incredible books. And
Yep.
Phil over here, like, he used to do just customer service. Now, this dude's working with developers and doing contracts. Like, we have such a great team. I love Premium, and I get the pleasure of showing off their games on stream. So definitely, guys, go check out Premium. They're also doing a second chance sale there, too, for a couple of awesome games right now. Lonesome Village and Anuchard. And I'm not a salesman, whatever. You guys don't have to. I'm just telling you. Premium is cool. And so are all these guys. So subscribe to everybody. Tristan, do you have a YouTube for your company at all, or no?
Ish. I don't really post to it.
Okay.
I'm so bad about like social media, dude. I'm just like, I really need someone to do that.
But guys, think about
Yeah.
what we're looking through, and we're gonna keep looking through more here. But guys, we've looked through like 1/10 of one of these books.
Yeah.
Like, imagine having these. So, real quick, before I keep going, Tristan, so what does this collection cost? Like, if someone went to the website right
So-
now, what would they be paying to get the exact collection that I'm showing off right now?
So you can get them as a set or individually if you want. Volumes 1 through 3 I have retailed at $60 a piece. I mean, they're massive books, but usually I have them on sale. Right now I do have them on sale for 15% off.
Nice.
Volume 4, which is all of the actual list checklists and then like extra stuff like I don't know if you've ever heard of Time Walk Games, or Rose Colored Gaming, or Retro USB. It's aftermarket games that those checklists aren't really anywhere except for in my books. And it's just got like extra stuff in there. So that one is $40, but also 15% off right now.
So now I know, I think I remember you saying that you also had some digital versions of these.
I do, yeah. So you can actually go on there and purchase them digitally too. The entire 4-volume set plus the release notes, which you'll probably show at some point. That's $30 for the PDF. And then my video game console collector's field guide is $20 for the PDF, $60 physical.
So you could get the PDFs if you wanted to have access to all this information nice and compiled for you for the price of, you could get both collections for the price of just one.
Correct, yeah.
That's
and that
pretty neat.
slipcase that you showed, that is, there were only 250 of those made, and they're $30 for that giant wooden, like solid slipcase that houses all 4 books.
So Catherine said,
Hey,
so
it's
where
worth
can
it.
I get one? So I don't know if we want to type that in the chat again.
Yeah,
I know that
I'll
it won't let you link because I don't have people set as supervisory roles. But if you put the link, at least people can copy and paste it. We do want to get that out
too.
there.
Let me
So-
do it right
I
now.
just posted
Okay,
it again.
right there, everybody.
So let's continue looking through these.
VGCollectorsGuide.com. Go there. Check out Tristan's books. Give this man some love. Because he's doing great. He's doing great things, man. And he's like, me and Tristan are brainstorming on something cool. I don't want to spoil it, but we're working on some kind
We've
of
got some cool
little-
things to show you guys
These-
pretty soon here.
Yeah, these definitely gonna
Yeah.
be getting these. These appear to me basically to be a love letter to physical game collecting.
They absolutely
and
are.
It
I know how
absolutely
much
is,
Zoo
yeah.
loves his books, so Zoo's probably going to end up going to get that big old hard set. And it's big,
I didn't
y'all.
really-
Like it's, I didn't mean to cut off Tristan, but it's like it's
Oh, you're fine.
almost the size of a smaller PC tower. Like when I was telling Jay, I was like, dude, this thing is like a PC tower. It's huge. I don't even know where to put it. It's
And
just
guys,
in my
it is
floor.
so heavy. Like, I am one of the mightiest people in the world. Like I said, if y'all see me at PAX, I'm 6'8", 325. I should be in the WWE. I tried out. They didn't accept me. But it's so big, like, I'm having a hard time hauling this thing around. So you're definitely getting your worth, for sure. So, guys, check that out. Even if you just pick up one and check it out, when you get it, you're going to be like, God damn, I need to get the rest of these. So
Yeah.
it's really
I
cool.
think so. Volume 2 is the largest of the volumes, and it's over 700 pages.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's huge.
ridiculous.
Like like one of my biggest books, I think, is like the Bloodborne, or like or some of those Elden Ring books, and I think Tristan's like surpasses them in page numbers. Like it's insane.
That's awesome. So let me tell you guys.
So
look at-
I mean, I kind of. Oh, go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead, dude. I just want to talk about games.
gonna
If you
say-
got something relevant to the book,
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I kind of touched on it a little bit in my introduction, but I didn't really elaborate too much. But so I started the books in 2020, like I said, during COVID, whenever I had a whole lot of free time, and I was actually like out processing the Air Force at the same time, and everyone was on lockdown, and like the squadron was closed, and I couldn't travel like anywhere around the world, which was basically my job at the time. So I collect for a lot of obscure sets like the Nuon and the Gizmondo and the Tapwave Zodiac and whatever. Those checklists don't exist anywhere, so I just made those as kind of like a fun thing, and I shared them online with people. And then as I started making more and more of these checklists, I'm like, I need to make a book. So it took me 4 years, but there they are.
Guys, so it looks like the YouTube moderation is deleting the links that we're putting down. Catherine still cannot get it. So can we type that in there maybe without the www?
Okay, let me do that.
You got
Let
it.
me do
Leave that off.
Okay.
She's begging to
Okay,
buy them
let me-
because these things are so damn cool.
Okay, let's just let me just do
But,
that.
So, continuing on about the games, like, what I love about these kind of things is, just like they were saying in chat, the unlocked memories. So, I can remember, I'm looking at a very common game, right? You can probably get this thing for $5, probably $10 boxed. Clue. So Clue on the Super Nintendo released right around the time the Clue movie did. And everyone loved the board game. So I remember consuming this game, playing the board game with my friends and family, and watching the movie, and goddamn, I loved Clue to death. As much as like an 8 or 9-year-old kid can love Clue. Like, I loved it to death. And stuff like Cool Spot, where they were like crossovers with brands. Like, dude, I loved 7-Up because my Nana loved 7-Up.
Also,
So, like,
that was a good crossover game.
yeah.
Legitimately.
So, like, it was
I
so
remember
cool.
playing
It's a
that a
great
little
game.
bit.
It would
That's a
give
great
me
game.
something to talk to my Nana about. So my Nana had her Diet 7-Up, and I'd be like, Nana, I got this game on my Super Nintendo where you play as the guy on the bottle. And she's like, that's nice. But, like, rest her soul. But, like, it was something that was exciting that I could talk to her about. So, like, I love remembering back to these things. Like,
I
it's
wish
so
there
damn
was more
good.
games like that today. Could you imagine they came out with like a Chester Cheetah game?
It's right
Like
there,
I
guy.
would play the hell out of that.
It's right there.
They had one. But
Yeah, it's right
Oh.
there.
They had
They had
2 Chester Cheetah games.
Yeah, right here, guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Guy, put
Yeah,
your
but
other
I have
glasses
some-
on. What are you doing?
I have something cool I want to show that I bought off somebody on like Facebook Marketplace or like a Facebook group, and I was like, I want these for all my loose like NES, SNES cards. So it's a clamshell, like a Sega style of TMNT2, and they had it made custom, and it's so nice. Like I have the other turtle manuals in here to fit it, and it's so cool. And then here's my little cartridge. Like I was like, dude, I would be totally down for that. I wish, because I always hated the fact that the cardboard boxes would just get so beat up so easily. So, yeah, I need to I'd probably be more of an expense to go get clamshell cases for all
So
my NES and SNES
You guys
games.
want,
But it'd be
speaking
neat.
about clamshells,
And
and
Nintendo's always been cheap asses with their game cases, even on like the even on like the Wii U and the Wii
Yeah.
later on, they put holes in the damn cases.
I know, I
Like,
thought
the
that was so
fact they had
stupid.
holes in it.
so I want to share.
But dude, that's why I love the Sega games, because those clamshells, I feel like they held up so much more.
Oh, not only that,
better than-
and I gotta tell you, if you like the Sega Genesis cases, Phil, the Neo Geo's got a bridge to sell you. Literally, it would cost that much.
So look at these.
I-
Beautiful.
yeah,
Ooh.
I mean, I
It's
love
beautiful, they're
those
just-
boxes.
they're fragile.
I think when you said Neo Geo, I think our Robot Named Fight
Ooh.
collector's edition, isn't that a Neo Geo box, Tristan? The big old huge
Yeah, it's in a
clamshell.
shock box.
Yeah,
It's
it's
in
a
a
shock
shock
box. So if you like those Neo Geo big clamshells,
Yeah, those jewel
that's
cases,
special.
man.
Chat. Everyone's still connected. We dropped quite a few frames there. Something hiccuped crazy. Everyone's still good. You can hear us all. We froze pretty good there for a second. I was over here. I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, y'all can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I just hope they can, because we're going to be able to hear ourselves on Discord.
Yeah.
Hopefully, chat
The
answers me.
chat ain't moving.
Hey, chat, can you still hear us?
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Mandy hears us.
Mandy said yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
That would really suck. Sorry to interrupt you guys. You can continue. I'm just flipping through. I just was freaking out that we lost the damn stream.
Yeah.
I've got one. I have one Nintendo 64 cartridge. It's loose, and it's Rayman 2. And I just, my mom just found it in her drawer, and I don't even know if it works because I don't even have a Nintendo 64. But I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm not gonna start an N64 collection though, but that's cool.
Oh yeah, so Jay, you were asking about Sailor Moon being in there. Like I said, most of the Japanese, like especially large libraries, are not in there in visual form. They are in list form in Volume 4, though.
Nice. Yeah, those were repro carts. They were done beautifully. I didn't get them from the original person that did them. I got them on the secondhand market. But I'm super thrilled to get them. And there's actually a cool pink variant of one of the carts, too, that I want to get. Really good stuff. And those games are
Dude,
really
the
fun.
reproduction carts on the Super Nintendo is like a whole nother realm of history that is so cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of reproduction cards, this is from my friend at Project Retro Games. I mean, look at what he did here. I don't even know what this
Nice.
game is. I know nothing of it, but it looks so cool.
Yeah, so Zoo, you were
Hyper
saying about how like
Irene? Sorry, go ahead.
Zoo, you were saying about how like it's another story, like the reproduction stuff. That's what I was talking about in Volume 4, like Nintendo Age. Whenever it was bought by another company or another entity, those forums that had like all of that information about those releases, those like aftermarket releases, like Time Walk Games, that was all lost. Because they just unceremoniously deleted all of those, or got rid of all of that repository.
Right, Time
so
Walk Games, videogamereproductions.com, all of those. And even before those websites existed, there was the eBay. There was a seller called Flag to Flag 18.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got my first reproduction, which was the Terranigma reproduction. And I remember it shipping through Canada. And and it literally ended up in that absolute hellhole that is the New Jersey shipping center. And which is, gamers know, it's an infamous black hole when you're trying to ship things between countries. And it landed there. On the very last day I could get my money back, I prepared to request a refund from this guy. And then sure enough, it was sitting right in the post office. But that was an $80 reproduction at the time. And then later on, like, I bought that, and then it was literally like 6 to 8 months later, videogamereproductions.com and Time Walk showed up, and they had these 2 for $100 or 5 for $225 deals. And I'm like, motherfucker.
All right, guys. Awesome. Catherine just ordered a set. So she's going to get to
that's
experience
awesome.
this
Thank you so much.
for herself. That's awesome, Catherine.
Yay, Catherine!
Good deal.
And Catherine,
Because these are cool as hell. These are cool as hell. And
because you
here's
are here in chat with me, I'm sending you that secret checklist.
hell yeah.
Oh,
Special
that's
bonuses.
awesome.
Nice.
So the beautiful thing about this, guys, is just like I said, like finding things you didn't know about. Like, I'm not the SNES guru that Zoo is. Like, I have a very extensive knowledge of it, but I didn't know that there was a second Jurassic Park called The Chaos Continues. I never played that. As frustrating as the first one was not being able to save, I would have killed for a second one. That's awesome. I'm literally going to go find that after and buy it. Like right now, I actually want to look it up. I have got to find this. Like, I'm going on eBay right now, and I'm going to see. We're going to get a live look at how much this costs. Tristan, you're even helping out the scalpers, bro.
Great. Anything for the scalpers, guys. Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, that's what we love.
Wow, I can't. Jurassic Park chaps. I put that in instead of chaos. I can get some Jurassic Park chaps. Some assless raptor chaps.
Woo!
We'll say this to the scalpers.
no.
If you were a scalper, may 1,000 fleas infest
Okay,
your armpits.
sealed. I can get it for $185. Complete in box, excellent condition, $99 with 15 watchers, and I can get the Game Boy edition cartridge only for $26.95. So I might pick up the loose in the Game Boy one. I ain't buying a sealed Super Nintendo game. Like, that's against most of what I believe in. Like, I keep sealed games. Like, if I buy a new PS5 game and it's not some crazy collector's edition that I want to see what's inside, I'll keep it sealed till I play it. Like, there's no point in opening it if I haven't played it yet, but I will never keep a game sealed to keep it sealed. Like, that's blasphemous. I can't.
Yeah.
So I want to ask right
I have
now.
one game that I probably can't ever open just because if I do that, it's like my Yokai Watch 3 on the 3DS. It's like a $500-$600 game. I don't think I could ever open it.
So other than Tristan, because you wrote the book, Phil and Zoo, did you know that there was a second Jurassic Park game on the SNES?
Dude, no.
You're talking about Rampage Edition?
No, I'm talking about Chaos Continues. Jurassic
I
Park
knew
Part
about
2.
Jurassic Park Rampage Edition. I never knew about the Chaos Continues.
Yeah, see, so 3 out of the 4 of us, video game experts, didn't know shit about this. That's so crazy. I'm gonna have to stream that after I order it.
Rampage Edition
my-
is very good, though. Try Rampage Edition, guys.
Guys, let's
In
get some
my
super
de-
chat
in
so I
my
can lessen the
defense,
blow on this damn Jurassic Park purchase.
By the way,
Unbelievable.
another game on the 16-bit era with an absolutely bitchin' soundtrack is the Jurassic Park games and Jurassic Park Rampage.
So
Very
good.
good Genesis soundtracks.
I
So,
Just
love.
lose
Definitely not
Chrono
as good.
Trigger.
Let's
It's
see.
wanna know
definitely
how
not
much
as good, but Chaos Continues is also on Game Boy.
Yeah. No, I had said that was $26.95. That I could pick that up. It's card
Yeah,
only.
Yeah, I missed that part. Sorry.
Yeah.
I must have been looking at my NOS or something when you said that.
Oh my god, I loved. So I'm one of the people, right? I actually liked Mario is Missing. I enjoyed Mario's Time Machine. I still liked them because they were more Mario. I say the same thing with people that complain about new Star Wars or Star Trek or new Doctor Who. I'm like, if you love the franchise, even if it's not exactly what you wanted, it's still more of it. So
I disagree in one instance. I'm a huge Castlevania fan, and it was because it was a huge bait and switch to me. Big Castlevania fan from like way back. But Lords of Shadow pissed me off. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, Kojima's involved. It's gonna be amazing. No, I'm not a fan.
So, who determines? So, my question with this is, who determines gameplay identity? The developer, the game gods love to think they determine the gameplay identity. But what I would actually say is that is a negotiation between them and the fans. When you make a game like Mario is Missing, when you make a game like Zelda, when you make a game like Mommy Metroid, the problem is that the people with the money, the customers, oftentimes reject your reinterpretation of the gameplay identity of those games, and it goes very badly for them. That's what happened to Mario is Missing. That's what happened to Zelda for a decade. That's what happened to Metroid on the later Metroid game on the Wii. Like, I get that you have some creative control over your franchises, but you also, we're the ones with the money, guys, so you got to run it by your fans, too.
See.
I'm looking up right now because Monster pointed out, he's like, is that Chaos Continues one not on the Jurassic Park collection? I don't think it is.
I'm just curious to see how much a complete Turtles in Time would be. 180. Honestly,
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be a lot
sad, but
more.
not as sad as you think on that.
Heck, I could get. All I need is like boxes for some of those NES Turtle games because I got the manuals.
Okay, it
just
is
had the
on the
boxes.
collection.
Find me a box, Hagane, the Final Conflict, for under $1,000. Please fucking let me know.
It is on.
Yeah.
So that Chaos Continues is on that collection. I still want it physical. So maybe, I don't know. I still want it. Like that would be a nice box
I
one to
really
have on the
want
shelf.
Hagane. I really want Hagane.
Oh, Mr. Nuts! You remember Mr. Nuts?
Mr. Nuts!
Me and Jay were talking on the phone yesterday, and he brought up the fact that it's like there's just no like new like console that can play like the old like disc game type things. You know, like you have the
Polymega.
Retron 5. I mean, yeah, Polymega,
Polymega.
but it's like
Yeah,
it
but that's
can't
modular.
Do Xbox, Dreamcast, PS2.
Yeah, but it's
And we
modular.
were like, I want a disc-based system like that will play all the disc-based games. PS1, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, Xbox, all the way up to DVD. All the CD and DVD games. Like that's
So
what I would want.
all of up to like I think it's Sega CD and maybe even Saturn now. Polymega, the base unit does play all those.
Yeah. But it don't play the systems
I mean,
that I want though, because I don't have any of those games.
Yeah, Yeah, it's just. I mean, at that point, it's a matter of like processing power and you know the quality of the emulation.
Yeah.
So they could probably patch that in later on. But you know, when you're talking about like PS2, I don't think the Polymega has that sort of processing power.
No, and it's a shame because if we could get Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, original Xbox, like, dude, that would be awesome because I don't have a retro TV, so I can't play my retro games. And I looked at the retro tank, but it's like several $100s or whatever, and I'm like, dang, man.
I don't remember ever playing Pinocchio. Played all the Disney games. I don't remember a Pinocchio
There was
game.
a Pinocchio game?
So
Pinball
I never
Fantasies
played it
is
on
awesome.
Super Nintendo. I have it for Super. I've never played it. I had that as a kid, the Pinocchio game, or my cousin Jake had it on Sega Genesis. He had that, and he had Beauty and the Beast, Roar of the Beast, which is another one that like a lot of people have never heard of, where you go fight like a wild boar pig. It's like the first
Oh,
boss
interesting.
in the castle. Really silly.
Nice.
From what I heard, a lot of the Disney games on those were actually
Hard as
decent
balls.
games.
Yeah. They were definitely hard.
Hard.
Oh, I remember playing
Jungle
Prince of
Book was another
Persia
one.
and
Just
being
get
so
the shit out of it.
frustrated. They were so hard too.
Which one?
Prince of
It's a
Persia.
very hard game to control. Yeah.
But like it was it looked so good and it was so unique that like you wanted to keep pushing through it. Like I just wanted to succeed. But unfortunately I was not very good at it. Sink or swim. But yeah, man, these are truly beautiful additions. So let's ooh, N64, baby. Now, that's one of those things, like, that is, like, the prime of my childhood. N64, I was, like, 12, 13 years old. I was the first one in the
That's high school
neighborhood to
for me.
have it. And, like, it was so crazy.
See, what's
So,
funny about this is now we're getting to my getting off the console bandwagon for like a decade or so. It was right around this era.
yeah, you were all done.
I was all done. Yeah, I did play the N64, in particular Perfect Dark and GoldenEye.
So,
But I remember being so disappointed at not getting my 2D Mario game that I was already half checked out.
one of
So
the
disappointed.
few RPGs on the N64, right? Everyone knows about Quest 64. Aiden
Yeah.
Chronicles, right here, baby. I just picked that up like last year. Yeah, it's like an action RPG. It's really, really cool.
And if you have an N64, guys, and you like RPGs, I know they're in short supply. Ogre Battle 64, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ogre Battle 64.
That's the one that I thought
I
was
never got to really play the 64, and I never got to experience the Dreamcast, and I only got to play a little bit of the Sega Genesis. And that was the only Sega console that I got to play.
Did you just say
was
you
the
didn't
Sega
play the Dreamcast?
I did. I almost had the chance to get
Cut
one,
his video.
right? Because Sonic, and then I was like, oh, Sonic Adventure is coming to the GameCube. I'll just get a GameCube. Take this back, and I didn't get a Dreamcast. I almost
love
got
them
it.
all.
Almost had one.
Yeah, halfway
So
through the N64, I was basically out. I was into PC gaming. And then I didn't get back to console gaming until the Wii.
Gotcha. Speaking of Sega, we're on the subject. Got a quiz question for chat.
Okay, chat.
So if
Listen up.
any of you guys know it, don't say. I just want to see who gets it first, if anyone knows. What does Sega stand for? It's actually, I guess you could call it an acronym. Short for something.
Let's see.
You guys know this?
Chat, let's ruminate on it. Let's ruminate on this. I could tell by Zoo's laugh that he's pretty well.
Well, I'm laughing because it's actually a trick question, but I'm curious to see what the chat says. There's actually a
Well,
couple
good
answers
question.
that could be given. Am I right, Tristan? There's a couple answers that we would probably accept.
I'm actually curious the second answer that you're thinking of, because maybe I don't
Okay.
know.
I only thought there was
Yeah,
one answer
Catherine,
to it.
Service games. Service games, Catherine, yes.
Service
See,
games is the correct. Yep, service games is correct.
beautiful. See, that's the true game historians in there, picking up the books, knowing the history. I was waiting for that.
Now-
That's great.
Now, as for that second answer, so the second answer and the original answer was standard games, but it was renamed at some point to service.
Okay, yeah, so it was something else before service games. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Wow, Catherine got that
Catherine.
one like right away.
Catherine's a super fan, yes.
Now,
Heard
Zoo,
of a
you
game
like
on
racing
Dreamcast.
games, right? Zoo? Zoo, like, just...
Is you there?
Zoo's done.
Yeah. Oh, there. No, I'm here. Okay.
You like racing games,
Oh.
right?
I love racing games. Yeah.
So do you not like the Cruisin' USA and Cruisin' World games? They were so good.
Cruising was fun. Cruising was a lot of fun.
San
It was.
Francisco Rush?
Never played San Francisco.
Oh, my wife would be very upset. That was like her favorite one coming up.
Well, my dad still has our N64. I could probably give it a spin.
Now, are you a fan of wrestling games? Because the WCW ones on the N64 were
Well, not only
classics.
WCW, but that had WWF WrestleMania 2001, man.
Yeah, the N64 wrestling games are still the best
So
wrestling
good.
games ever made.
Absolutely.
Still.
Absolutely.
So good.
I didn't get to play anything
so-
but like Super Mario 64. I got to play a little bit of Donkey Kong 64, and that's about it.
So to finish my question, I was going to ask Catherine, since she says she's a Sega super fan.
All right.
Have you ever heard of
Ooh.
a game on the Dreamcast? It was only in Japan, and it's actually getting a fan translation. And there's been a team working on it for over a decade, and it's close to completion now. This is the one I've been waiting for, like a fan translation. It's called Sega Gaga. It's a love letter to all Sega fans. I cannot wait. It's an RPG with everything Sega in it. It's
That
just
sounds
incredible.
amazing.
Really?
Hmm
Now
Dude,
I want to like pull
can we
that
get
up.
a licensed physical of that? That would be great.
Oh, dude, I would buy it yesterday.
Like on the Switch, that would be great.
Oh, the
Oh my
Switch, it's
God.
So good.
This looks really cool. I'm looking
yeah,
at
anyone interested in Sega Gaga, if you don't mind spoiling the ending for yourself, look up the final boss. It's incredible. The music, everything, incredible.
Is that not awesome?
Samba de Amigo.
Does everyone not want to pummel Samba de Amigo after that last release?
Dude, it's so good.
Those bastards copyright struck me on Twitch for playing goddamn Samba de
no.
Amigo. Bastards.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So funny. Oh man.
Yup. They will forever have my rage. And it wasn't Sega. It was some music rights group it was some like Spanish song that was on there that they nailed me for.
They're awful.
Oh,
They're
man.
terrible. Like literally, I literally will buy the license to the song, and YouTube will still copyright strike me.
Man, do you remember how mad I was when that happened?
Jay, go back to Gauntlet.
Yeah, I saw that there's a slight variation in those.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that this variant exists. There was a variant that came with a figure.
Ooh, yeah.
What? A figure?
Yeah, in the box. In the box.
What's the figure of?
We're gonna consult eBay on this one
I
and
think
see
it's
what
like a
that's going
warrior or
for.
something. Yeah, it's one of the warriors or whatever.
Gauntlet 64 with figure. Wow, I cannot type. As I have become an old man, that's like the first thing that's gone. Woo.
Yeah, maybe it was the Wizard. I honestly can't remember. There definitely was a figure. I just don't
Okay,
remember
so
which one it was.
I don't know about. I cannot find a North American one, but the Japanese one with the figure, $349.
Yeah, it's stupid
Brutal.
rare over here, and I can't even remember like what retailer it was. I know I looked it up at some point.
So this is the Japanese one. Brutal. I know that's upside down. It says Epic on it. Like Epoch, not Epic like Epic Games. But yeah, $349 for the Japanese one. So I imagine the North American one is even more. Like, that's insanity.
Oh, it's insane, yeah.
Catherine says she thinks it was the Wizard, dude. It probably was the Wizard. Catherine knows her shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it probably was. I mean, if she's saying so. I honestly don't remember.
Now, in some of these, I didn't get to experience them in their original cartridge form. Like, some of them, like Pokemon Puzzle League, when it came to Nintendo Switch Online, I played the hell out of it, enjoyed it so much. Like,
Team Sweeney says that he's got the Gauntlet Legends with the figure. Very nice.
that's awesome. That is
Kirkland.
It goes for $600 complete in box or $1,857 brand new.
so. Sweeney, do you have that? You have the North American one or the Japanese one?
Knowing him, it's probably the North American one.
And from what I looking at, it's fuzzy on price charting, but it shows a little picture of the figure, and it's not even painted. It's just a gray figure from what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
How big is it?
It looks like a little mini figure, almost the size of a.
It's small
Like
thing.
those little wrestler dudes?
It kind of looks like one of the figures you would use for like one of those like board games, you know?
Yeah. That's crazy.
You were like the miniatures, like one of the Warhammer miniatures almost. Yeah.
Yeah, Kirk said he has the North American one.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You're lucky, dude. $600. $600 for that.
Ugh.
That's insane.
I'm all
Didn't
stuffed
even
up
know
here.
that. That's cool.
Okay, so let's...
Getting an action figure with your game, that's pretty neat.
All right, so I'll pose this to the chat and to all of you here. What's your favorite N64 game? And you got to answer, so you can't be like, I'm not answering that.
Dude, having the N64 like Resident Evil games in box would be great.
So, Phil, what is your favorite N64 game?
I don't know, dude. I didn't get to play it, so I guess I don't know. Mario 64 or Donkey Kong. I mean, I had a fondness of a 3D open world Donkey Kong game because I never saw anything like that before.
It's not
He was always
good.
a side scroller. I mean, I know probably wasn't good, but it's just the fact that he was in that kind of world was neat. So I don't know, one of those, I guess.
What about you, Tristan?
Somebody send me an N64 so I can scratch that itch.
Gosh. Ocarina of Time here.
Good deal. Zoo?
Probably Star Fox 64. Very fun. Very, very fun game.
So I'm going with 3 again because it's my damn podcast, and you know what? Again, like I became like a JRPG person with some tail end Super Nintendo stuff and with PlayStation and beyond. On the N64, my 3 favorite games, no questions asked, are Wave Race, Wayne Gretzky 3D Hockey, and this wrestling game right here, WCW versus NWO. I just loaded up Wayne Gretzky 3D Hockey a couple of weeks ago. Belgian on podcast. And I live up in New Hampshire, right? So the Northeast is my place. And if you're familiar with hockey, we lost the team, the Hartford Whalers. And I used to watch the Whalers on the sports channel almost every night during the hockey season, and then I'd flip over back and forth between the Whalers and the Bruins. because the Bruins would be on Fox, or sometimes in the primetime games on ESPN. The Whalers were a much smaller market team, but like I love that game. Such great memories, and such great memories playing my friends, whether it was in Wave Race, in Wayne Gretzky, or in WCW versus NWO World Tour, because you literally, all 4 of those allowed for 4 players. And it was incredible. And, you know, we weren't, like, I didn't grow up, like, struggling, but we weren't well off. So most of the kids in my neighborhood, like, we kind of lucked out and we kind of worked together. So, like, my friend Joe had begged his parents for a Saturn. I begged for an N64. And this person begged for a PlayStation. So we kind of had like everything covered. And if we wanted to play PlayStation, we'd go over to his house. If we wanted to play N64, we'd go over to my house. And then, you know, as the years went on, you could have multiples of them. Like I could have all of them. But when they first came out, you definitely weren't going to have 2 or 3 of the consoles that were out.
No, yeah.
So we kind of, and we would trade back and forth too. Like I had my N64, and then I would trade my friend Andy for his PlayStation. And we'd trade all our we'd trade games. Like it was so fun, and you knew like they were your friends. You're not doing it with strangers. If a week later you wanted it back, like you'd usually be able to work something out. Like, so it was really cool. But those for me were huge because of the multiplayer aspects of it. And I mean, and again, like I enjoyed other games, but like I would be crazy to say that like Mario 64 wasn't incredible or Cruis'n USA wasn't incredible. But I really love those. Oh my god, the console variations! Oh my god! So
that's one thing that is sorely missing from consoles. Now, I would love translucent versions of like the Switch and like the PlayStation 4 and 5. Like
these are my 2 favorites, and I have them both.
Systems wise, idiots.
I have them both.
Edition systems now just suck.
The Jungle Green. DK, baby. Like, oh my god, I love this stuff so much.
By the way, was Resident Evil 2 the only Resident Evil game on the 64? Because it's $214 complete in box.
It was.
Yes, and it was super hard to find
That's
now.
so weird. They didn't do Resident Evil 1 on the N64, though. I don't know why.
I'd have to go look in the closet. I'm pretty sure I have the cart loose. I don't know what it's going for loose. But
$48. That's pretty
because
cheap.
Like the two kind of rare ones are that from the earlier days, that and then Resident Evil 2 on the GameCube is pretty expensive too. So
hey, I'll also give one shout out to a game that I don't think it was the best game on the system, but it's one I really enjoyed. That was Shadows of the Empire on 64.
Oh yes.
That's a good one.
Fighting Boba Fett in the canyon, that bastard.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I know that when it comes to aftermarket like carts or something, I saw like an aftermarket like an NES version of Final Fantasy VII or something, and I heard about that and I was like, I wanted to play that, and I was like, man, somebody make like an aftermarket cart of that.
I've got a box copy.
Oh, you do? Oh man, I would love to.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would love to play that. Like, I don't know how good it is, but I would love to play it.
I have
you
never
played
seen
it?
this in my life.
Oh, really? That's actually the N64 I have is the gold one.
What the hell?
What?
And then
I want to see it
so
right
there was
now.
actually
Where is it?
All right, one sec.
Yeah, do it up. Do it
the
up,
gold
son.
controllers, by the way, there's a special gold controller that was Nintendo Power 100th issue. Like they sold it in their like catalog. I used to have one of those, but I passed it along to a buddy of mine who's a collector.
Nice.
Those are really rare. I'll be right back.
And guys, look at this, right? This is really cool because he's got all the player's choice variations of the boxes. Like, dude, think about how much. Oh my god, it has a 64 DD. This is insane.
What's the 64 DD?
It was the disk drive that they made for it that used like hard disks.
Wait.
Oh,
there was
he's
a
got
disc
it.
attra-
Holy crap.
Wow.
Guys, that is legendary.
There's a disk drive attachment for the 64?
There was in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy that we have that in here. So
Wow.
Catherine says, was that
clever.
the box for that? Was that package was like Zelda packaging, the gold N64?
No, it was just a Toys R Us exclusive. It wasn't like branded with Zelda or anything like that. No.
I don't even know what the IQ is. That's
You know
crazy.
what? If I
Was
didn't
it a
have
learning
the original-
system?
So Phil, 1 second. The IQ was so at one time China outlawed consoles.
Yeah.
They were not like allowed to be made or played or whatever. And Nintendo struck a deal with the Chinese government to make a Nintendo 64, and that's what that is. It was digital downloads only, though. So the unit itself actually has a couple games built in, but they're on a timer. So you can play them as a demo, but once you're out of time, then you can't play them anymore. But then you could go like online or to some kiosks and actually download the games to that controller. And yeah, you used to have a boxed one of those as well.
You used to have this
That is
controller?
weird.
Yeah. Yep.
That's freaking awesome, dude. Wow.
I was gonna say about that golden 64 you have. If you didn't actually have the box and you had the money, it would be so cool to have somebody make you a custom N64 like Zelda Ocarina or Wind Waker edition that had like a slot to put
be
like your
cool.
box copy of it in it, and then he'd be like, "Oh guys, look, I have the special edition like golden 64 Zelda thing," and they'd be like, "Oh, is that a real thing?" And you're like, it wouldn't be, but imagine it would be so cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
so real quick, and we'll pose it to chat as well. Favorite GameCube game? Go, Phil.
Oh man. Oh gosh. I'm going to say for me it was probably Tales of Symphonia is what I played. I remember that was my first Tales game, and I remember fondly playing it with a neighborhood kid because you could like share the battle, like somebody could play the battles with you. And outside of that, I'd probably say Luigi's Mansion. Like, dude, it was like Resident Evil but with Luigi.
Luigi's Mansion for me, yes.
Yeah.
Zoo?
Oh, I'm
Deuce.
sorry. There's good GameCube games. I didn't know that.
You son of a bitch.
I knew he was gonna do that.
You're really not going
Almost
to
did that
answer,
for the
guy?
N64. I'm not an N64 fan, really.
So, what I will say is I have warmed up to the GameCube substantially since my heel days. Probably Metroid Prime of the GameCube. I don't know. Thousand Year Door is pretty nifty, too.
It's
Oh,
good.
that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
I'm going to go with
excellent
Thousand
one.
Year Door just because I thoroughly enjoyed, in particular, like the
Yeah, that was
Coliseum
so good,
Battle
dude.
Arena portion of that game was
Yeah,
so.
man. Oh, so good.
But in
So-
general, like, I have to maintain my stance that what good GameCube games. But I will, for the sake of being good faith, I will say Thousand Year Door.
So, I'm going to surprise people with one of my picks. I loved the Herbs. I loved it to death. And that was the, like,
oh, interesting. Okay.
inner city Sims. I loved the Sims. My wife loved the Sims. It was one of those experiences that we could really share together. And we really, really loved it. And I love Wave Race, so you know Blue Storm is one of them. And
Mhm.
Eternal Darkness was so
Eternal Darkness
damn
is so good.
My GameCube
Oh,
games
gosh.
are.
Still remember that bathtub scene, like whenever you like investigate the bathtub and the chick is like in a pool of blood and it
Yup.
screams. It scared the crap out of me. Like I dropped the controller.
Do you guys, anyone from the chat, do you guys remember when I did my DK Bongo stream and I was in here and I legitimately hurt my shoulder and I'm like all out of breath as I'm like banging on the bongos? Do you remember that one,
You know
Zoo?
what's great? I don't know if a lot of people
that's
know
what you
this.
get for playing that fucking abomination on live stream. That ghastly, disgusting Buffalo Bill reskinning of a classic franchise.
You know
Buffalo
what's,
Bill reskin.
You know what's special about this version of Resident Evil 2 that I love is the fact that it's all on one disc. That's the reason why I wanted this, because PlayStation 1, you have to swap the discs to go through both different versions, but on GameCube, it's all on one disc. And here is an uncommon, like I got this off my friend. This is an uncommon, it's not expensive as far as I know, but a lot of people don't even know about this GameCube game, Rave Master. Like my friend, my resale games, she had this, and I think I paid like $40 for it, and she's like, "Dude, I've never seen this game before. I like this will never pop up again. I will get the."
Yeah, you're gonna have to check me in real time. Rave Master is one of those ones I don't remember the cover of, so I hope it's in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Make sure you look. Make sure you look.
Sure it is,
but
too.
yeah.
So guys,
Rave Master.
you want to see probably the rarest GameCube game? Right here. Right here. The Zelda
one?
Metroid Prime 2-pack.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
You're talking well over a G. Well over a G.
Yeah, it's
Gale of Darkness.
crazy.
Gale of Darkness is getting up there.
Wait a second. That game has the Wind Waker and Metroid Prime on it,
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
$1,300.
and you're saying that people will pay $1,000 to water down a great game like Metroid Prime with Zelda Wind Waker?
Yeah, they'll also pay like $500 for the one with the bonus disc because
Oh,
it doesn't
my
even
word.
have the other
What is
game.
wrong- What is wrong with you?
Shots
I will say,
fired.
Mega
Shots
Man-
fired.
Mega Man X Command Mission. That was a game that came with trading cards, and it's like a turn-based
hold on.
Mega
Let me
Man
write this
RPG.
down. Let me make sure I have this. It came with trading cards?
Mega
Uh-oh.
Man X Command Mission, I believe.
Yes,
it came
Mandy.
With trading cards.
Mandy has them. Mandy can send you
Yes.
pictures of it. Mandy, do you have the trading cards that came with Command Mission?
Yeah,
You know she does.
Awesome. I'm not sure if I know about that one, so
yeah.
I'll
Write it
check my
down.
list,
It
but-
does.
just in case.
Um,
This is what I'm talking about, man. Like I gotta keep my ears open because I don't know about all this stuff.
That
Yeah, it came
the
with trading
Pokemon
cards.
box is probably going for around $700 right now.
It's more than that.
It's
I
more than
want
that now.
more GameCube games, but I just
It's
can't.
more than that.
It's so crazy. I thought that Paper Mario Thousand Year Door coming out on Switch would lower the price of the GameCube.
Oh,
copy,
Battle
but it
Cry
didn't.
is so good. I have
It
that
didn't.
here on the PS2. Oh my god, I love Robotech. Oh my god.
You know about that Resident Evil 4 preview disc?
Which one was? What was that packaged with?
I don't know. That's a good question. There's also a Rogue Squadron.
I think it was probably a GameStop
demo.
bonus, wasn't it? It was like a pre-order bonus.
I don't remember.
Well, let's look it up. People need to
I
know.
need Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on the GameCube and Code Veronica.
Did you
Like,
guys
there's-
ever have a Shopco or a Pomida before it went out of business?
I didn't.
I don't even know what those are.
So it was like a retail store in the Midwest. Some were Shopco, some were Pomida. They were owned by the same entity, but there was a Pomida out near where my wife is from.
I forgot.
She's from Waco, Nebraska. Park, Nebraska, looking at this Pomida, and they had Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica X sealed for $3 each.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
I
gosh!
picked them all up. I picked all of them up.
so that
What?
one.
Yeah.
Wow, you lucky.
Okay, so Resident Evil 3.
Oh, I wish I could get deals like that. I get mad at people that get deals like that. Probably the best deal that I got was all 3 Xenosaga games on PS2. A friend, he sold me the whole set for like, I think it was $150. Which the third game alone goes for like, I think $200 or $250. So I thought it was still a pretty good deal.
So it was
bro deal.
released in December of 2004 as a gift for pre-ordering the game.
Yeah, I thought that was it. It was pre-order or something.
So there's also an even rarer, it doesn't have a box though, Resident Evil Nemesis preview disc that was store only that's going for shit tons.
Interesting.
There was an
Okay.
in-store
Take
demo.
note of that one then.
Because when I was
Yeah, I
looking
guess
that up,
I
I
did,
mistakenly
like-
put in 3, and I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm looking at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, make sure you're in the R's. Make sure you see if there's Rave Masters in there,
Yep.
or if you miss it.
Rave
It's there?
Master.
Yay!
Yep.
Yay!
We got it.
Woo.
Oh my god. Look at that. I did not know that existed. I gotta get
What?
that. Summoner Goddess Reborn. The first Summoner was
What?
so goddamn awesome on PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god. I gotta order that. Chat, don't let me forget that. Mandy, you gotta remember that so I'll know to get it. I have to have that. So Mandy said she does not have the cards you were talking about. She has the TCG cards from Battle Network, but not the ones that came with the games.
Okay. Okay.
So, well, I mean, that kind of counts in my book. Like, if it was cards made about a video game, and I think Battle Network was a video game first, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
That counts in my book. So, oh, now I actually do have a pack of Battle Network. I forgot about that. Yes, I have those.
Zoo is so quiet while we're talking about GameCube. He's like, to hell with that.
He's taking a nap over there.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, let's get past this.
I love how you have the player's choice variations in here.
Hostile console for sure.
These are so cool. Oh, Zoo's favorite, the Wii.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
I hated the controls on the Wii. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh,
Return of
you're
the King,
crazy.
baby.
I
Return of
hated the
King.
controls.
So
Nintendo
the
back
Wii,
to its fucking roots.
the Wii has so much great stuff on it.
It
But like
had so
I
much
was,
shovelware.
but I was an early adopter of it,
Does
and
have
I bought Wii Music on day one and brought it home. I bought Elebits on day
terrible.
one and brought it home.
Terrible.
Like I had all
Elebits
the,
was good.
I
Elebits
loved
was
Elebits. But
Elebits
later
is-
on, I became very averse to the motion controls. Like, I didn't want to do any of it. And I became so averse to it
I
that...
actually liked Skyward Sword. Like, I enjoyed it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Zelda.
Silence from all
Zelda
three
had
of
a
us. Oh, no.
Just me, guys?
Yeah, we can't do that. I love the characters and the story, but the gameplay is absolute trash. Even when they remade it or when they, put modern controls on it, I can't. It's garbage. I love the story, and I love with Fee and Hyrule Warriors and stuff like that. I love it, but I can't. It's just evil.
Yeah. Well, were you playing with the gold Wiimote and the gold nunchuck? Because if you weren't, completely different experience.
Yep, I actually have a full gold set. I have the gold Wiimote, the gold nunchuck, and I have the 007
Nice.
gold Pro controller.
Heck yeah, dude.
Now, Jay, you
He's
mentioned you
flexing
love
over
the.
here.
Well, that's not the
Mention
same
you
as your
love the
damn gold
story.
N64.
That's true.
Now, Jay, you mentioned you love the characters and the stories on Skyward Sword, but I gotta ask, man, which one? White Lip Gloss, Red Pompadour, Regal Unibrow, Giant Arm Bamboo Baiter guy.
Oh my god, you're
I
so...
don't like Twilight Princess at all. Ugh, I hated that one.
Ugh.
Twilight Princess, yeah, had the fucking evil baby weirdo and.
It's a
Uh-oh.
weird
Evil
one, man.
baby
It was a
weirdo.
weird one.
Guy, you're
Yeah,
out of
had
control.
fucking- Yeah, had Belly Shirt Clown and fucking all these weirdo Enuma characters. He jammed in all this shit.
All right, so we're going to ask, favorite Wii game, everybody. Phil, what's your favorite Wii game?
Shots fired from the monster. We kind of sucked.
You know what? You suck.
Honestly,
Message redacted.
I blinked on the Wii, so I don't even know. I can't even tell you. I had it, but I can't think of a single game that I really played on it that was fondly. I mean, I played Twilight Princess on there, and that was the worst way to play it, in my opinion. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna pass when it comes to that, unless a game comes to my mind. Yeah.
Oh, Mandy, Kate West, Vanishing Files. Do you have that one? Hey, Catherine. Discord handle is just, I think it's just Cold Knights Gaming. Castle
Favorite one
Shikigami.
for me is is easy. Rhythm Heaven Fever.
Oh, Rhythm Heaven is so good.
I love Rhythm Heaven. Okay, yeah. Out of the last 2 Nintendo Directs, the only thing that got me excited, they're coming out with a new Rhythm Heaven.
So, guys, one of the things that the Wii is underrated for, right? There's a couple wonderful RPGs on it, but they're horror games. So we have The Calling.
Yeah.
We have The Calling.
Yeah.
We have Obscure: The Aftermath, which was the sequel to Obscure.
Mhm.
We have The Mountain, Cursed Mountain. We have one of my favorite games, even though it's terrible. It's one of my favorite horror movie franchises. You have the Ju-on Haunted House Simulator. That's still going for like $50 or $60. For a while there, it was even more expensive than that. It's kind of come down. But there were so many good things. Dead Space Extraction wasn't terrible. I know like a lot of people don't love it, but
they had the Resident Evil light gun games. I think those are pretty good.
yeah. And I actually
There's that
for
terrible
Tristan
There's that
Tristan I have
terrible
one of
Bongo
the
game.
I have
Now
one of
with
the
exciting Wii controls, and it bombed on the Wii too. What a shot!
I have one of the rarest pieces that anyone would ever see if you want to talk about those light gun games. I'll have to
Which one?
I'm actually probably going to go grab that in a minute.
Ooh, Epic Mickey was a big thing about the Wii. Not so much the sequel, but the first one. I remember that.
My wife is going to see if she can locate it in the spare game room. But as far as me for my favorite game on the Wii, like I agree with you guys. I had a love-hate relationship with it, but I would probably say it would be Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
I
That's the
really
only
love the Mario
I've never
Kart
played.
Wii. Oh, really?
I've never played that one.
I
have
really
not.
loved it so much, and the GoldenEye was really good too. That like remake of it was so good, but the Wii was one of the few that I never got into the sports games on it. So it was one of those things like love hate. Like the Zeldas with the motion controls, I watched my wife play them. I
Wrong
didn't want to
game.
play them myself.
Look
So-
at
Just
all the
Dances there are.
Just Dance. Holy
Yeah, look
shit.
at all the Just Dances. Go back
Yeah,
to that last
it's
page.
Oh my
gross.
God.
Blech,
It's
blech,
just page.
blech.
One page just in.
Oh
Blech.
my god.
Yeah, it's very bad. Last Story, beautiful.
You see like Call of Duty on like
I
Xbox
wish
360.
I would have got Last Story. I didn't get it. And I'm surprised I didn't come back. Like, they could have remade that, too, with Xenoblade. It would have been awesome. And I remember there was a Dragon Quest game where it was, like, first person, and you attack with a sword. I never
Yeah,
got
Dragon
to play
Quest
that.
Swords.
And there was also, I don't know if it was good, and then there
What?
was also another Crystal Chronicles.
Mandy, did you know they had a Lost in Blue for the Wii? I did not know that. I have Lost in Blue in the original on the DS. I did not know that they made Shipwrecked for the Wii. That's awesome. That's one I want to get too. See, dude, that's what I'm talking about, Tristan. Everybody, you got to order these books because, like, I am basically a game hoarder. Like, of the people that you may follow or see online, I have one of the larger collections. It's obscene. I put way too much money into it. And I've been playing games all my life, and there's stuff that I'm seeing in here that I didn't know about, and that's freaking awesome. And that's why everybody needs to jump on these. Yeah, Mandy, we got to check that one out.
Tristan, how big is your game collection?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, okay. So, with comments here, whenever I was writing my console book, I was at the peak of my console collecting, and I was almost up to like 300 unique consoles. After I got done with that book, I purged most of my collection. It just takes up too much space.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with the game collection. I was almost at like 4,000 games, and I've got rid of probably 3,000 so far.
Wow.
okay. So you
But
purge
I
a
have
lot.
like stuff that's taken the place of it. I have like a Switch kiosk and Play Choice 10 cabinet and a pinball machine and like bigger stuff now. I have
Yeah.
a Sega City or a Sega Astro Cab, like Candy Cab.
But what I
Was
love,
there any console that you know, with the games and whatever you're keeping, like you wouldn't get rid of?
Oh yeah. All the stuff that I'm nostalgic about, yeah, I've still got. I'm gonna keep.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Stuff
I
really
know
care
Bear.
about. Yeah, I've got a very curated collection now.
I know our mutual friend Barry, man, his collection was insane. He's got like shelves with hidden shelves and hidden shelves. And
He's got the biggest handheld collection I've ever seen.
he's got all the weird learning consoles and everything. I've seen only a little bit of it, and it's insane. But I think the person that even has him beat would be our other mutual friend, Michael Yum of PM Studio. He's like building his own museum. I'm seeing his like pick up pictures all the time on Twitter, and I'm like, what on earth are you doing? Like, that is insane, man. It's like getting everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, when I was writing that console book, obviously I was doing outreach. I've done a whole lot of like networking with game collectors and stuff like that, and that's part of the learning process. One person know everything. I would be, it'd be stupid to tell you that I know everything or even close to it. Am I still here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something dropped out real quick. Sorry. But like I have relied on a lot of information from other people. Jay, are you still there? You're kind of frozen, buddy.
Yeah, your picture's frozen, Jay. Are you still there?
yeah, I'm still here. I was actually trying to find something to show you guys.
Okay. Well, just to let
Sorry,
you know,
lost
like
that train of thought. I just wanted to make sure we were still on screen and everything.
I got briefly popped out, too. So.
Okay.
because it's like a picture is frozen with his hand on it. That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's a frozen hand picture.
I think I need to.
Anyway, like I've reached out to a lot of like really hardcore collectors. He's got like what was the question again?
I don't know.
Favorite Wii game.
What were I lost my train of
I
thought.
think you were just talking about like because I mentioned Michael Yum of PM Studios. He has like a huge
yeah. So like we know all these huge collectors, but like you can always learn something from everyone else that you run into in this hobby, like big time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I know. I don't know.
Never go into it thinking that you know everything because you don't.
That's correct. Yep, we've all.
I would love to have some of those
experiences. We all have different keys to the code.
I would love to have like a really cool pinball machine or like the original Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet from Chuck E. Cheese. Like that would just be. But I will never have. I mean, I had the money to have something like that, and the space would be crazy. It would be cool though.
So my favorite Wii game shouldn't surprise anybody who knows me, and it's very simple. It's new Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Okay.
Nobody understands. Nobody can understand. You have to have been there. After 18 goddamn years of Nintendo refusing to service the greatest game series of all time.
Oh, as far as like a console 2D.
Yeah, Mario,
right.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he had to have his 2D Mario. Zoo is very particular. He is very particular about
There's nothing particular
his games.
about
like,
it, brother. 20 million versus 10 million. 40
Hey,
million
Chat, can you
versus
still hear
6
us?
million.
Yeah, I finally got it back here.
On 3D Mario, when they had 2D Mario, is business insanity. It's insanity.
Tristan, you don't know this, but Zoo used to be an investor with Nintendo. I think around the Wii.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I jumped in right at the end of the GameCube era as they were unleashing the DS and the Wii. Yeah.
So guys,
sold in the later era of the Wii.
You have seen these beautiful books. We have had a couple people in the chat order them. Tristan, you have done a beautiful labor of love here. These things are incredible. I am so thankful to be the recipient of these and to be able to share them with the community. I really hope that you get a whole bunch of sales off this because these are so awesome. And, you know, not only do I want to see you do well, but like I want to see this get shared with other people because it's something that's really cool. So I do, we probably got to wrap up here because it's getting a little late. I have to leave for PAX pretty early in the morning tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like the connection is not so great on my side right now. The camera was freezing up. I don't want to just abruptly lose the stream if we do have something like that happen. So, but hey, guys, I've had a great time talking with you all, especially you, Tristan. I appreciate you coming on. I hope that a lot of new people are going to be fans of yours and fans of your work because this is really, really incredible. So, guys, if you haven't decided to pick up these books, definitely give it some thought because that's awesome. We only went through a portion of one of them, and you saw how it brought us all down memory lane. So that was really cool, and I certainly appreciate you coming on. So, Tristan, once again, can you tell our folks where they can find you?
Absolutely. So my books can be found on vgcollectorguide.com. Each one is available individually or as a set. Currently, they are on sale. You can buy it with or without the slipcase, or I can, make them worth less if you want me to sign them and solely them. I'll do that for you. And then if you're only a collector of a particular system, I actually offer them in what I call a select, which is printed to order. Like I print out, like hand make a notebook for you, and we'll send you just that particular system if you want just a checklist to like tick off or whatever you want to write in your book. I keep that cost relatively low. So those are all available on my website, vgcollectorguide.com. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on, Jay. Seriously, it's been so much fun. Phil and Zoo.
I think we're gonna have to have you on again sometime in the future, dude. Just talking damn video games with you was great.
Yeah.
And I know that you had been floating the idea of doing something on the premium channel where you were kind of talking about doing like a quiz show. I think that would be freaking awesome, and I love how you kind of tested that out tonight. So, like, I see what you're doing there. That's awesome, man. I think it would be really something special, and I'd love to see that on the premium channel and be part of that. I would love to go up against Frank and Josh and Phil.
We would score it and everything. This would be there would be a champion every single episode.
I would say if the premiere, I'll go ahead and say that if it's me versus Phil and Frank, I come in first, Phil comes in second, Frank comes in third. That's
shots fired. All right.
That's how it would be. So that's where we're at. But hey, chat, I thank everyone for coming out. You guys have been great. I hope you've enjoyed this trip down memory lane. And like I said, if you haven't picked these books up, consider it because they are freaking awesome. I'll probably post some more on social media about them. And we'll definitely have links up to all his stuff. But yeah, great times. So I hope everyone has a good night. Stay proudly premium, because we got all these premium people here. And as always, stay creepy.
Stay creepy.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
See you guys later.